We'll see what happens.
Hey, hi, hello.
Hey, what up?
Yeah.
Yo, what up, what up?
Welcome to the Rotating Tab Comedy Podcast.
What's happening?
I'm Corey David.
I'm Steve Vanderplug.
And made a little bit of a journey today, all the way up to Lyons, Colorado. Haven't been up here in a minute, but it's looking lush, beautiful. We've had a lot of rain.
Yeah, lion's not spelled how you think.
Yeah, that's
It's
fun.
not like the animal.
Yeah, it's super. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the hot takes we do on this show. It's just mostly us talking about the weird spellings of the
making
towns
sure.
that we're in. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Like intelligence tests, it's like I can spell lion. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes you look dumb. But yeah, we're very excited to be up here. It's a beautiful day, like in Colorado as well. It's been raining a shitload, so I've been boozing myself in the luxury of my own apartment. So it's nice to get outside for a little bit. It's a beautiful thing. And we are at MainStage Brewing today. If you guys want to introduce yourself, just say hi, your name, what you do here.
My name's Sam Scrooby, co-founder. I'm kind of in charge of the brewing side, which at this point in time is ordering kegs. But
Yeah, it's really
So I was a grizzled industrial brewer, and then now I've just been hanging out at a bar for like 10 hours a day. It's kind of a little career shift.
Yeah, I'm
right
not
now.
convinced you're even actually going to start a brewery here.
I mean, honestly, the way it's going, I'm like, I don't know.
We're definitely starting a brewery here.
This all is basically was like, yeah, we just wound up opening a bar.
Yeah,
It's
No, it's coming.
one of those facades where it's just like, it's a brewery. I'm like, I don't see any of
We've
the
only
telltale
had
signs.
one person like come in and be like, "You guys don't have any of your own beer," and then just like turn around. But like everyone else is like, "Oh, they got beer, cool, yeah."
Yeah, they've got
drink
beer.
it,
They
yeah.
got the thing we're looking for. I mean, it did save us the cliche tour of seeing more stainless steel tanks, so that's nice.
Yeah.
But sometimes they have adorable names.
Yeah, the tanks do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Sally.
When we went up to Casey, he had like hip hop names
Yeah,
for like every
yeah.
single one of the tanks that he
Yeah,
has
those
there.
are cool.
Yeah, so that was pretty neat. But otherwise, Sam, thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm Eric. I'm the other co-founder. That's my actual full title is other co-founder.
Yeah.
Just the other guy.
Other guy at MainStage.
Pass the buck when Sam's not around.
Yeah, I do everything Sam's not doing, which lately is just drink beer. So
It's mostly, yeah, it's a lot. It's
yeah,
it's a
we're having
heavy duty
good
job.
time.
Wait, I drink beer too.
Oh yeah, you drink beer. So I guess we both drink beer. Yeah, no, I'm the other co-founder. Most of my world's entertainment and making this place hop and having fun.
Yeah, you were saying you got to go meet a guy about a stage down in Fort Collins.
Yeah, we're planning out all kinds of music. Our building that we're in is old, so we're planning a 140th birthday party for it in July.
Yeah,
We're gonna
nice.
Bring in a stage for a week and just throw down super hard.
This used to be a Mexican restaurant, right?
It's been, I mean, yeah, it was a saloon like the 1800s, and then it's like a butcher shop. It's been 2 Mexican restaurants, most recently the Lion's Fork.
Is there like a ghost
Like-
of a mariachi band?
I
that you
think
can
there's
just hear?
definitely a
There's
ghost.
supposedly a
There's
ghost.
absolutely
Yeah,
a
that's
ghost.
what the people that sold it. They're like, oh yeah, they like knew her name and stuff. I forgot. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't met her
lore-
yet, but I
there's
leave a beer
lore?
out every night for her just to make sure.
yeah.
Well, now I know where I'm coming every night.
Yeah. It's like the employees are like, oh, it's just the ghost drinking. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I guess that's where we lost all that beer. I
Check the
get it.
cameras. No, don't check the cameras. Let's keep the folklore alive. Is Lyons the kind of town? Did this used to be like an old mining town or anything? Because I feel like every town in the state of Colorado was either like a ranching town or a mining town.
It's
right?
an old quarry town. So all the sandstone you see all over Colorado, all the sandstone at CU Boulder, all came from Lyons. It's a sandstone quarry town. There's like 7 quarries that surround us all over the place. They
Okay.
ship sandstone all over the country.
Cool.
lucrative business.
Yeah,
if it were in the long
sandstone.
run, it would.
Mining rocks.
Yeah.
Those
Who would've
guys
thought?
are missing so many fingers. It's terrifying. No, back behind me is our storage shed, which is called the Dynamite Shack.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
dude, it's like all brick.
It's all sandstone. It's the second oldest building in town, and it's called the Dynamite Shack because they used to store dynamite in it. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the walls are like 2 feet thick, and the ceiling is like 2x4s, so that if it ever exploded, it would go up.
It'd be like a fun little spot for a speakeasy or something. Be like
Yeah.
the Dynamite Shack. That
Looks
sounds
like-
like a fun name for a
It
bar.
looks like a torture chamber, for sure.
Nice.
It's,
They're encouraged, by the
Yeah,
way.
that's great.
That's a big part of the show.
I gotta drink some beer first.
Yeah, that's fair. We are sipping on one of the beers that you do have that is yours today.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and say it, man. I usually don't love stuff that's mosaic forward. Mosaic to me is usually just like, I'm super sensitive to if the hops are old or whatever. It
Oh,
just
yeah,
tastes
yeah.
like cheesy to me, like right out of the gate. This tastes fan-fucking-tastic.
Sweet.
It's
Awesome.
so good.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's really bright. I'm getting like a lot more citrus notes than I would normally get out of mosaic. And it's clean. It's clear, which I also love a lot.
Rare thing these days, right?
Dude,
Yeah.
I know, but yeah, I'm the old man yelling on his front lawn that he wants a clear beer. But
Yeah.
Clear hobby beer. It's
well
a
done.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well done.
No, thank you. And it turned out nice. I mean, it's like cooking in someone else's kitchen. It's like brewing it at a different spot. So
Yeah.
it's
Where
always
did you
like
end up
nice.
brewing
when-
it?
What's up?
Where'd you end up brewing?
I was down at Copper Kettle.
Copper Kettle?
Yep.
Nice.
So it was a nice 100-mile round trip to go pick up the kegs.
For 1 pint of beer, yeah. You're riding pretty low on that one, or what?
Yeah, I didn't check like what the weight limit on my truck was like last week. And
Why would you? Yeah.
I had 11 kegs in there, and like it was starting to make some sounds that were like, yeah, I don't think this is made for this kind of hauling.
Dude, don't hit a speed
so
bump.
I went and looked, and this time I can fit 8 kegs and not like void my warranty or whatever. So
Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
So you're setting up a bunch of like live music stuff up here. Which
Yeah,
is
we're
pretty
gonna
dope.
do a ton of music. Like, I love music. I came from music. As much music as we can do is my vibe.
Born of,
Yeah.
his mom was a guitar and his dad was a violin.
My dad is a musician. His dad was a musician, and his dad was a musician. So
Yeah.
it's in the family.
Mom would be more of a
Are
slap
you
bass,
also
I
a
think.
musician, or you just
I
like music?
did get a degree in music. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
you
dude.
wound up in the brewing
I am an
industry.
extremely mediocre classical saxophonist.
I still haven't
I'm
heard
really-
you
Let's
play
hear
the
it.
sax,
Prove
dude.
it.
No.
Prove
Will you bring it
Yeah.
up?
Where's the
Like,
sax?
Yeah, dude, he
I
was
haven't
sexy
pulled my horn out in, like,
saxophone
3 years,
man
something like that.
for
Pulled my
Halloween
horn
one
out.
year.
Whoa, that's a phrase.
Yeah, so
That's
I
true.
mean, was that kind of the essence behind the name too? Was the focus was going to be it's a live entertainment venue plus beer,
Yep,
right?
Yeah,
Yep.
100%.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's a little on the nose, like Dynamite Shack.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
holds
very to the
dynamite.
point. Yes.
People are like, how'd you guys settle on that name? We're like, I feel like it just captured what we were trying to do,
It's
and then
pretty
it was
straightforward.
available. So we're like, yeah, let's do it. I don't
To be
know.
perfectly honest, it being available had a lot more to do with it than anything else.
Yeah, because you don't want to have to
Yeah,
go through the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
process of like, fuck, again, and you just keep getting denied.
Yeah. Well, we were like, oh, that's got to be taken, and then we like looked, did all the things. It's like, no one's named their brewery MainStage. Wow, let's
So
grab
just
that.
take
Like,
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
yeah.
What were the other? Did you guys have any other fun ones kind of bouncing around?
Right hand brewing. It's downslope.
We
Right hand and downslope were not in the consideration.
we play music brewing company.
Yeah. I don't know. I think like we had like some like cheesy like I don't know. We were trying to find like some like double use word in like music and brewing, and they all sucked. So like, we
Sure.
were, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, what was
Yeah.
it like?
Puns suck.
Amplitude brewing, and it's like no, it's taken. Like I was trying to remember. Yeah,
We-
it just
yeah, we
got
played
so
around with
kitschy.
other stuff,
like
but-
yeah.
Yeah, puns suck in comedy too. I'm not a pun man.
You
like a pun?
They have their time and
I'm
place.
just not even gonna groan. That was just horrible pun.
There's
Yeah.
not a pun man. That's all.
Yeah,
Just don't
alright.
like them. You know any good
I
ones
love
offhand?
puns.
Puns. There's a time and place for puns for sure. Like I don't like stand-ups acts that are puns, but
Like
I
the whole
like-
time.
But I like puns and improv.
Yeah.
I love a good improvised pun.
Yeah, just off the cuff. Even though it was
Yeah.
probably planned. They're just like
I like
ready.
the- I
They've
like
got
the
it in their like.
inadvertent pun. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think for improv comedy shows, they usually have stuff stored away in the back pocket. They're like, oh, I can't wait to drop this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess
They're
that's-
gonna love this. It's gonna be fire. So, what music are you guys usually playing when you're like here? If it's a music forward kind of venue or space, like what do you guys usually?
What are we
out to?
jamming over the stereo when there's not live music?
Uh-huh.
I heard Girls Just Want to Have Fun was blasting in there. Our tasting room manager, I think, put it on. Darcy did.
Yeah, we got
Classic.
We got some 80s
Yeah,
going right now.
I think it's 80s Day going on in there right now. I'm not
The
really
classics.
Sure what's going on. Yeah.
I feel like like you're in Lyons, bluegrass town, but like you got to just be careful, like playing bluegrass too much. Like
Really?
people start,
Well,
yeah.
you haven't experienced this yet, but I guarantee by the end of the summer, you're never going to want to hear fucking banjo again. I promise. After Rocky Grass rolls through here, you're going to be like, I am done. I
Your
cannot
dad even
handle it.
joked about that. He's like, he's like, no bluegrass before April. Like, it's like what he was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
He's like,
You're gonna get your fill.
you don't need to be playing this until like.
Oh, you're gonna get your fill
June.
and then
Yeah, you'll get way too much banjo.
You just
Epically
start hearing
overloaded.
plucking throughout the day,
Yeah.
even in just random things.
You just hear banjo and you become slightly angry and aggravated. No one wants to be around you. It's pretty weird.
Like the ghost that's downstairs starts playing the banjo to really fuck with us. Like,
there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
mariachi band and a banjo.
yeah, a mariachi band with a banjo. It's like everything you could want and more.
No, we'll listen. We're listening to whatever. We let our staff run the stereo, so whatever they want to listen to any given
Yeah.
day, as long as it's in the ballpark of family friendly, it's totally fine. So
Yeah, I don't think we were like Memphis, chopped and screwed. Like we probably can't get away with that. With like kids
Yeah.
running around.
Yeah.
But we haven't tried, so I don't know.
Not a lot of WAP. Not a
haven't
lot of
gotten yelled
WAP
at. We haven't
playing in
gotten
the
yelled
tasting
one of
room.
our like tasting beer tenders, like she's just like, just is like we should listen to this song, and I was like okay, like put it on, and then it's like this like dirty dubstep song, and I was like for real, like because she like
What
with
is
like
this,
some
a dis-
CU kids, and
Yeah.
then like like people that are a little older, and I was like we're listening to like this is like grimy dubstep right now.
Yeah,
Like, I was not expecting this when you told me to put this song on.
This is a
Kinda pop,
brewery,
though.
not a dispensary.
Yeah.
Dubstep's kind of pop though. Like it's fairly mainstream at
Yeah,
this point. There's
I guess
enough
it's-
musicians with like dubstep beats that are like. I mean, you know, Skrillex is obviously well known.
Yeah, but this one was a little more brash. It was just like sit on my face. Womp, 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 womp.
Oh, it's Bass Nectar. That's who it was.
My mistake. Absolutely my mistake. Well, you guys seem pretty eager to drink some beer.
I feel like I need
I'm
to go
pretty
for
thirsty.
it here.
Yeah,
have to go for
you
it.
were very adamant about wanting to break the leaderboard, and we're proud of you for that.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm absolutely
We'll see
not
if I'm
gonna.
proud
But
of
you're
you
here.
for that.
We're
I'm
grateful
here.
you're
I'll drink a
yeah.
beer.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal. I mean, hey, sometimes it's just for you. You know, you don't run a race necessarily to win. Sometimes you just want to prove that you could do it.
Yeah, I like winning though.
Yeah, well,
It's
then,
just not gonna happen today.
but just not today.
Not right before you're going to drive all the way to Fort
No.
Collins here.
Yeah, no.
that's
Also,
fair.
not a good analogy. I don't run for any reason ever.
I run
not
for my
about that.
life, and that's it.
Yeah. That's it.
Did you have the leaderboard pulled up right now?
I
Just
have,
doing some exercises over there. You stretching?
out.
I'm
Yeah,
just
man.
like trying to free up the space here. Like,
Honestly, any method that you want has we're open to it. If you have a beer bong here, you can do that. You know, you don't even have to use a
Where's
pint
the
glass.
boot?
Ooh, we haven't had that yet.
You guys got to come back during Oktoberfest, and we're gonna do the boot. We're
Deal.
gonna start a new leaderboard.
Sounds like a deal. I mean, if we do a boot, that would be its own leaderboard.
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
Yeah.
The
it would be-
leaderboard. Get it?
Time and
we were
place.
talking about that.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right, we doing this?
Hold on. I just,
just-
I want to recap the times for you really quick,
Okay,
just so you know
alright.
what to shoot for.
Way to name the leaderboard.
Chris from Transient, 0.35 seconds.
And then
0.62 from Pint Room.
Yep.
/ now at Copper Kettle.
yep.
Mike from Outworld at 0.92. Ryan from Bear at 1.06. Gavin from New Image at 1.06.
That's the
Okay.
times then. That's what you got.
0.3 seconds.
0.3 It was like watching a pelican.
That
eat a
had
fish.
to be a big beer.
It was, yeah. I mean, it was. I forget. I think it was. It was one of the New Image, like Coriolis, I believe. It was one of those. Yeah, it was an IPA, hazy. I don't know. I mean, most people don't usually do IPAs. It's usually a stout or something light, like a pilsner. So, what do you got?
This is double IPA from Gravity.
Nice.
Because I want that. It was 10%, so it was like.
It qualifies.
Yeah, it was either that or a triple, and I was like, I don't know.
For this particular exercise, acceleration from gravity is well named and appropriate. for
Yes,
fun.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're clicking on you're checking all the boxes. This is good. So you are gonna have to tell the joke immediately after your chug. As soon as the beer hits your lips, Steve will start the timer. We will roast you while this is happening, and then as soon as it's done, Steve will stop the timer and you tell us a joke.
Okay.
Belching is encouraged. We believe in you. Relax the throat. Go to
just,
Zen.
It's just snow.
Really
melt.
think about
it's
it.
all snow melt.
Done.
Blind
Well
prostitutes.
well
You got to
played.
hand it to them.
Ah, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
what
buddy.
was the joke?
I said blind prostitutes. You got to hand it to them.
Oh, boy.
That's a quick one
That's
too.
just
I
me.
like
Nice
that.
little one-liner.
That's a little
You
sad
were
punchline.
you said you weren't ready for this, but you were.
How'd I do?
Well,
tell
we'll
you.
tell you as soon as we get the other chug going. How do you feel?
That was pretty easy. I don't know.
Yeah, you
I was
got
more. I was just more like after going to an Avs game and staying up till 1 in the morning. I was like, we're gonna see where this sort of settles. I'm not 19 anymore. So like, yeah, I'm not in like peak. Or maybe I am in the right spot here to chug a beer.
I think that's the key,
that
is that we're not overthinking it. You forgot that it was happening. Sometimes we have people come on the show that they're like, I've been thinking about the chug all week. And I think they put themselves in a mental block.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just get too intimidated.
Yeah,
they get
it's
too
easy.
scared.
It's like
It's easy to
performance
forget about.
anxiety, Yeah.
It's easy to forget about that when you're wasted at a fucking playoff hockey game.
Yeah,
Really
I was
thinking
not
about
thinking
it.
about that.
Yeah,
Slamming
totally.
Coors Banquet in the top level of the ball arena.
Oh, that sounds so good, though.
Yeah, that's great.
Everything
That's
you just
great.
said sounds great.
Yeah, highly
I
encourage
like all
it.
of that.
Highly encourage it.
Fuck yes. You ready to roll?
I am.
You got a joke for us?
I have a joke for you. I always have a joke for you.
Perfect.
Come on.
That's the keys. That's what I'm crazy about people. They're like, wait a minute, you don't have like a stock joke to just like tell
I don't have
people?
a stock joke, but I try and find a joke for the moment.
Hell
As
yeah.
one should.
Hell yeah.
You ready? This is
Yeah.
gonna take a long time.
Great.
It's okay.
I'm just not feeling it.
The
It's gonna be
longest
awesome.
the longest time is also its own
But this
achievement.
is a delicious beer, so I'm really not gonna mind.
Yeah, you're fair. It's fair.
Are you actually gonna chug it, or did you
Oh, I'm
set
absolutely
us up
gonna
to
chug it.
like sip it?
I mean, I
Nobody's,
kind of want to know how
nobody's
long
actually tried to sip it yet.
I want to know how long you guys can roast me for, so this could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's see what you can do with that wispy
Sam's got
mustache
some-
of yours.
This little wispy mustache?
Yeah.
It's doing all right.
Yeah. Your hair has the same consistency as your facial hair. That's
Oh,
nice.
a false alarm. Nice try there.
Ooh,
Sipping
did he start the
foam
timer
off.
early?
good.
That was pretty good, dude. Oh, you locked eyes with me the whole time. I
Oh,
like
wow.
that.
I
I had to
can
look
actually-
somewhere.
I'm half mass right now.
So, how many banjo players does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Ding, 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 ding. I don't know.
No one knows because they can't afford electricity.
Yeah.
All
I've
right.
never even heard of
Okay.
a light bulb.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's like, yeah.
I'm just going to keep bagging on banjo players all day.
Do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
slam them.
That's a
Besides
good
the
beer.
sax.
That chugs well.
It chugs well.
Yeah,
That was
man.
the first. That's the chug.
Yeah,
test?
that was the first chug test of.
Is that the
our beer.
pale?
Yeah, that was the
Fuck
pale.
yeah.
That was
Certified.
Gateway Pale Ale from MainStage Brewing,
Approved.
and it was delicious.
And right now,
I like
Sam.
the name Gateway too. That's like, here's the first one. Welcome. Now you're hooked.
That's,
Well, we
that's our
also-
gateway to having our own beer on. Yeah.
Here's our meth milk stout.
Yeah.
Try it.
The taste of the Rockies, if you will. And Sam's leading the belching contest right now. It's an unofficial
Oh,
contest.
okay.
It's whatever. If anybody wants to fire one off, it's mostly for bragging.
This
rights,
is
but-
this is a race I can run and win.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Why
the
not
long
tell
haul.
us?
That's
Yeah.
the long game. You know what I mean? You don't have to do it all at once,
Man,
but
I'm
over the
gonna
course
get
of the
some
show.
more ammo then. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the key. I'll take
Oh,
it
yeah,
away
Darcy's
later.
taking pictures of us.
Hey.
You missed us chugging beers.
That's okay. We've got video. We'll be able to
Darcy, do you
repost.
think I could order a beer from you right now?
No, you're drunk.
Do you think I can?
You're done, remember?
Shit, I just got
Wasted.
86 at my own
The
business.
shampoo effect.
I probably should. Yeah, I
You're
mean,
still drunk from last night at the Avalanche game. You drink a little bit, you're drunk still.
nah,
Did you get drunk at the fucking ball arena? How much money did that cost?
dude, I don't want to talk about it.
It's not about the
I
money.
mean,
it's about the
The way
I can't afford
the
to
way
get
I
drunk at that arena.
justified
It's not
like the core
happening.
decisions of last night is like I didn't do that in 2020. I don't know how many times I can use that excuse.
All of
but I
2020,
definitely have
yeah,
used
yeah.
that
excuse all
for
of
last
it.
night. Yeah, for
You can
sure.
use it. You can use it all. You can use it until March 2022.
Okay,
That's
all
when
right,
you get it.
Perfect. Yeah.
What beers?
Also,
Oh, beers. We're taking beer orders. Can I do like a 12-ounce wheels?
Yeah.
I'll just do a CL Smooth.
CL Smith, do you guys so campers?
I'll do another one of the gateways.
Gateway.
I'll take
Gateway.
that, please.
Nice. That's
Nice.
That's what I would say. Like the best compliment to a brewer is when someone orders the
Actually
beer again.
reorders
Like,
it?
Yeah, because like half the time people are like, "Oh, you made such a good beer," and then they're like, "That thing sucked," Like,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like, but if someone orders it again, it's like, okay, they probably like that one.
We are undercover Untapped people.
How are you?
Yeah, which is hard to do because I feel like the common thing these days is for people to jump around no matter how much they like a
Oh,
beer,
yeah.
which is disheartening. So when I find something that I do really enjoy, like no, hit that shit again.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
want to run that back.
You know, we've been getting a lot of people in here who are drinking the same beer all night. I was just thinking about that. Like, it's weird and different because usually people at a brewery jump around, try everything they can on the menu, and especially because our menu. I mean, considering we only have one beer on, I'm talking about most of the other people's beer. Our menu rips right now.
Yeah, the flight
It's
menu
our
is
favorite
hilarious.
beers
Sorry.
from all over the state, and it's surprising to me that people don't jump around more.
Yeah.
I jump all over this menu.
I mean, I don't know. If I find if I find a beer and a style I like that's like easy drinking, I'll tend to stick to that for the whole night.
Yeah.
Like rice lagers. If I find a rice lager on tap, I drink that like all night.
Dude, I feel like rice lagers are gonna be a thing. They're so good. It's like one of the best beers.
You've
I've
been
ever
talking
had.
about rice lager since we started talking. about
I mean,
this.
that's like probably only one of the first 5 beers we brew is like a rice lager.
Well, I
It's
mean,
so
what is
good.
it? What is it about that you really like? Because it's interesting that ingredients like rice and corn were kind of taboo in the craft beer
Yeah,
industry
yeah, yeah.
for so long because that's what bigger brewers use. But then Mexican lagers are having a real renaissance right now. Everybody and their mom's making a Mexican lager, which doesn't always have corn, but most of them do. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, what is it about a rice lager that you seem to enjoy a lot more than?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of in that same like vein of like Pilsner, and it's like like technically an interesting beer to brew.
technically interesting.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm a
It
beer
is an
nerd,
interesting technical beer.
Technical beer,
Not
yeah.
technically an interesting beer.
too. No, it is technically interesting.
I mean,
I don't know.
apparently people find it interesting. I don't
Technically,
know.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
conversation is not interesting.
But yeah, I don't know. There's just like some like crisp note that you just like can't hit without just like popping in a little bit of that rice in there. Some of that like the toastier like a little bit of rice flavor too. Like I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like still like I had like a Asahi when I was in Tokyo. There's like must have been really fresh. I was really jet lagged, and I was like, this is one of the best beers I've ever had.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a
Yeah.
macro lager, and it was like fucking perfect.
It's definitely all a beer of the moment, right?
Yeah, it definitely. But it was like I was just like I want, and maybe I'm just chasing that high of like where I'm like I want that beer and that feeling again, so I'm just gonna brew it. But yeah,
I know this isn't rice lager by any means, but anytime that I can get like a fresh Hitachino is a fucking beautiful.
What
thing.
is it?
Hitachino, like Hitachino nests.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Because they have like a yuzu one that they just
Yep.
came out with, or that they've been releasing a little bit more. And the only reason I bring that up is just because you just mentioned like Sati, so I'm just trying to think of like other like Asian breweries that are out there. But that's one for me that's like it hits so goddamn hard. Is there anything else that you guys have been sipping on recently that you're just like I can't get enough of this shit? Especially because I mean you're obviously trying different beers that you want to put on here.
Yeah,
Until you're all
it's
up and
weird
running,
being
right?
like the beer buyer.
You're
after,
a
like,
buyer
being-
now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of stuff. I will say,
Do you have sales reps stopping in here too?
Oh, yeah.
We actually, like Adam Avery and like their sales rep Kyle, like I just like looked and I was like, that's Adam fucking Avery, and like I was just like they were like doing kind of a sales round and they were like, oh yeah, we want to stop in. I mean, I don't know that it was directly like a sales stop, but I was like, oh, that's cool. Like,
Are you guys just trying to be the hard ass buyers now because you're like,
Oh, we are, yeah.
My, how
Yeah.
the tables have turned.
a little bit. I mean, yeah, we've been burning through Juicy Bits, and I love Weldworks, but that beer, buying it now, that beer freaking moves. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
People
one of those
buy
things
it.
like you
it's
don't believe,
weird to
right?
see it, like because
Oh,
like
this
we've
is what it
heard
does.
you hear all this stuff, and we're gonna
Yeah.
brewery, but then it's like we're sitting here, we have a bunch of different beers, and you get to see like in reality what people just like. We're not doing any like marketing of each beer, whatever. People are just showing up, and they're like, "This is the beer I want," and it's like it's crazy to just like
Which
see
one
that
moves
happen.
and which one's don't.
Yeah, and, like,
because
dude-
you never believe it. Like you sell a beer. I mean, I was in beer sales for forever, and like you don't necessarily believe a buyer when they're just like, "Oh, everything's a keg a week," and I'm like, "Fuck you." Like no, like anytime I had a meeting with somebody and they were a keg a week guy right out of the bat, I'm like, I don't trust a word that you say. But then there's certain accounts where you're like, yeah, this fucking flies, and then you go back in there in a month and like, oh, that's still sitting there, like that's still hanging around. It's
I
fucking
mean,
weird
in
to
a
see.
way, you guys are also kind of lucky too because this is a place where you can move kegs.
Oh,
Where,
we're
like,
moving, yeah.
Like restaurants and shit really are still having a hard time moving kegs so far because they're not. People aren't really drinking. People quit buying kegs all of 2020.
Yeah.
Just because they couldn't sell them at all. So they're like still hesitant to get back into kegs.
No,
but
we're-
you guys are probably pumping through them.
We're burning through beer. I mean, our patio helps a lot. People are really comfortable sitting outside and having
You
a
love
good time.
burning beer. That's the
I
two
do.
takeaways that I've seen so far.
I
Like
just
we're burning
burn it.
through Juicy Bits. We're burning through beer. Just
We
light
are,
the shit
though.
on fire.
I mean, you're saying keg a week. I think we did, 6 kegs of Juicy Bits in the 10 days we've been open?
That's
something
wild.
like
Yeah,
that.
That's so
it's
fucking wild, yeah.
silly.
Wow.
Like,
That's silly.
really,
like I
really
just like
moving.
I just did. I don't know. I feel like I was like, yeah, like cool hazy IPAs, like yeah, that's a thing. But like that was
Whatever,
like
nerds.
it's been like for 5 years, and I'm just like, holy shit, like that's a thing. Okay,
It's-
got it.
It's
Noted.
absolutely crazy. It's been wild. No, I mean for us when we were putting together the menu, it was looking at the stuff that moves really fast. We also have Milk Stout Nitro on from Left Hand, which is not a keg a week kind of beer.
Yeah.
But it's so good that we're not taking it off. It's just worth having those great beers on tap. And that's the best thing about this. We're buying beer from our friends that we've known for a long time, and we're really happy to show off the best that they can do.
Yeah.
Because people deserve to drink it, and there's a lot of beer up here in Lyons that people have never seen before, and it's fun to be able to bring it up here.
Well, it's also really important to just have a diverse lineup, right? Like, you
Yeah.
want to be able to have something that somebody walks into the bar and they can get a little bit of everything, right?
I'd like 16 different hazies on tap. Please.
I went to. I guess I don't know.
16
There's a brewery. It was in Nashville, and they had like a thing on that says like it was something like something through like choice, or it was like something that was like we have a lot of stuff, and they had 15 hazy IPAs and then like a pilsner with like clam shells or something like that. And I was like, I think that they know that that's ironic, but like that's so weird to
Yeah.
me. Like
You
like,
figured out how to make a Pilsner bad.
I don't know. Or what was like oyster? I don't forget what it was. It was like something.
Doesn't matter. I'm not a fan of either one of those things.
Yeah.
Especially just the shell. They're not even using the clam or the oyster
Yeah,
themselves.
it's like
Just
something
the
like that. Like I was just like, okay, like I guess if you don't like hazy IPAs, here's a pilsner with crustacean, and then if you have a food allergy, sorry.
We went down
yeah.
to Florida during COVID, got some seashells. We're gonna dump them into this poorly made Pilsner that we're just gonna masquerade as something else.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
But no, 15 different hazies does not count as variety.
No,
That's
I agree.
just 15 hazies.
Yeah.
But I mean, also like I think in comedy too, it's like if you just have 7 white dudes on a show, everybody's super bored by the end of it. Diversity's good no matter
sure.
what.
And even with your own set, I mean, if the whole thing's just about like one topic, or you don't really change subject matter much, like I don't know, it just gets a little bland and people get burnt out.
I don't know. It depends. There's some people that can tell a story for 10 minutes straight and it's entertaining the whole time.
Oh, I feel that.
I
That's
can't.
that's 10 minutes in a set. Like,
Yeah, that's like one bit, right? I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to do that.
So are you guys both like do stand-up comedy like?
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
much,
that's
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I work at a brewery during the day, and then have some random odd catering jobs from time to time.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, but
where do
for
you
the-
work at?
It's not on the. It's Ben Barley Brewing.
yeah, I was gonna say,
Down in
oh, you're
Aurora.
so like,
Yeah,
we're
no,
we're
they're-
gonna like, yeah.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Tell you not to go other places and drink beer and talk about it?
Yeah.
No, they love it. It's one of those things, and they get it too. It's like I'm just not trying to shit where I eat type thing.
I suppose, but I mean, like, people like our show.
Here's the real question: have they been on the show?
They have not.
Wow, that's hardcore.
Yeah.
That's a, like next
You
level
should
trying to
probably
hide
figure
some
that
shit.
out.
Yeah. What do you think that there's just like people hear about our podcast
Are they
and
just
they're just
not
like, oh,
funny?
we don't know, we've
No,
never
they're
heard
great.
of it. Yeah, we've
Are
never
they
heard
great
of it.
or are they
It's Corey
funny?
David and some mystery
They're great.
guy.
there is a difference. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I work at a brewery, but I don't think it matters. It's a very different, not the brewery itself, but the clientele, like the culture of the clientele is very different. Much older, like retiree, a lot of military, a lot of military.
And this has
goes
what
in
to
there.
do with you being on the podcast?
It's just a different vibe than with me being on the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, it's my own podcast.
No, I know. This has what to do with like not telling people that you're like on the show?
Where I work.
Where you work, yeah.
Where I work, yeah.
Yeah, you don't think they're gonna hear about it eventually?
Eventually they'll figure it out. I mean, eventually, yeah.
I think that's a cool clientele.
Did we just like out you on like have you discussed this?
That's
on
what I'm
the
saying.
podcast?
Outed
No,
on what?
I mean,
Outed on
I'm
what?
working
Clearly-
there. I don't know. Like I'm just
Clearly, I'm super fucking concerned about it. You know, obviously, it's a huge deal. It's a big step for me to take.
Yeah.
I think. I mean,
Well,
I
it
think
is
you need to do
it
the
is Pride
podcast.
Month, so I'm glad you came out of the closet about where you work. Yeah, it's very exciting.
I think you
I
need
wanted
to-
people to figure it out, like Carmen Sandiego. Where the fuck does Steve work?
No, I think you should do the podcast. You should do it there. You should do it in the tasting room. And if you do have a huge crew of military folks in the tasting room, A, that's awesome because they're great people. But B,
Yeah.
some of the gnarliest, just most disgusting jokes I've ever heard have come from folks that served.
Oh
If
yeah,
you're looking for just pure comedy value, man, the shit those guys will say.
it's pretty vile. Yeah, when you're in the
Yeah.
middle of the desert, just wearing like 100 pounds worth of equipment, and you're sweating your ass off, and life's tough. You're just like, I need to tell
All
some
you want to
dick
do is
jokes.
make,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
you want to do is make fun of
you know
stuff.
we need dick jokes
It is-
in the middle of the desert.
When I
Fuck
say
yeah.
military, I also mean in uniform.
Oh,
A lot of people in uniform come in there
You
because
go-
Buckley's
can you
right there.
drink in your uniform? I don't even know this.
Uh,
I feel like so ignorant about this. But
Let's
Some of
not
them-
name.
like,
Like, you're
yeah.
Let's
off,
not
you
name.
can't,
No,
like,
let's
go in
not
and be
name.
like, oh, I'm
because
off my shift.
Genuinely
Drink a
pretty
beer.
sure.
Listen,
I don't know.
I drink in my Burger King uniform all the time.
You
Usually
work
while I'm on the
Now
clock.
I understand why you have a
Yes.
podcast. You're working at Burger King. I
Yeah,
got it.
dude.
I figured it out.
I did. I worked at Famous Dave's for a while, and they said you were not allowed to drink at that Famous Dave's if you were in uniform, or any Famous Dave's. You could not drink at Famous Dave's if you were in uniform.
Which
You
is
had to-
fair. Getting a little like
It's fucking barbecue. Who really gives a shit?
In your work uniform or
Yeah.
anyone that has like a uniform, like someone comes in and scrubs and they're like, yeah.
Oh no, they can drink. Yeah.
then no
You just can't
uniforms
drink-
allowed.
Just to be entirely clear for the listeners, if you want to work at MainStage Brewing, A, we don't have uniforms.
That's
and
too
B,
bad.
you can drink here.
It would be fun if everybody had a different.
These are the
uniform.
rules.
What if
Oh,
I
yeah. Would that be
designed?
uniform though? I don't know. Yeah.
The uniform is the theme. It's the
We
concept.
require uniforms, but they all have to be different. It's like, I don't know. Is that a uniform?
Is this
I
like,
don't
like
think
choose
so.
your own uniform?
I'm gonna
Is that
design uniforms for you, and it's gonna be a onesie with a bunch of banjos. all
Sam will wear the shit out of that.
We should get like
No,
just like the shirt that like they can do like the full print on. That's just banjos and it's
Yeah.
like have you had enough or something like that. Yes, like you just
Yes.
just like it's all banjos and it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
I survived Rocky Grass like 2021 or something.
I'm just seeing.
banjos.
I'm just seeing you with like a washboard on your chest and a jug on your hip. That's what I like to see.
I have never in my
It's
life
just a
played the
growler.
washboard. It's one of the few instruments I've never played.
Really?
It is an instrument.
Have you
It
played a
is.
theremin?
I have played a theremin.
You
yes.
played a theremin? That shit's wild, man. Ooh.
It's really, really hard to play well.
sure.
It's really easy to play poorly.
Yeah.
Shit, I need to come up with a really obscure instrument. to
Good
test.
luck with
Yeah,
this. I've
like-
tested. I've played a lot of weird shit.
You got an obscure instrument. Have you
No,
played any
I
instruments?
don't know shit about music. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
Like,
Bassoon? You play bassoon?
I have played the bassoon. My high school band director and middle school and elementary school still lives here in town. She was here last night for music. She has a doctorate in bassoon. She taught me a little bit.
Oh, wait,
Oh.
bassoon.
She has a doctorate in bassoon performance from Ohio State.
I'm so dumb. I would like go to the zoo and be like, "Can I speak to your bassoon doctor, please?"
So when's she booked? That's the real question. When can
I don't
come-
know. She was talking to some symphony players about coming up here and doing like a little quartet or
Some
quintet kind of
tasty
thing, which
bassoon
would be
licks.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
if you will, out in the patio.
She
area.
moonlights from time to time with the Colorado Symphony. She's an amazing, amazing, amazing musician.
Hell yeah.
But yes, I have played the bassoon.
All right, so wait a minute.
Also
so,
the oboe.
so you're local here. You were born and
Yeah,
raised.
I was born in Boulder. I grew up in Lyons. We moved here when I was like 5, like the mid '90s.
Okay.
And yeah, then I went all the way through high school here. So it was 1st through 12th grade. My graduating class was like 68, and 40 something of us went 1st grade through 12th grade together, which was
Wow.
just
You
crazy.
Yeah, you just gotta watch like if he's out on the patio or whatever, and like just people walking by and they're like, "Oh, hey, it's her," you know, like
It's like the mayor.
You know, a ton
I
of
am
people
definitely
here. Yeah.
not the mayor.
You can sway policy.
Yeah.
You got your
We'll
opinion
see.
matters here.
We'll see.
Yeah,
He's
I
kind
think
of
so.
a big deal in this town.
Exactly.
I'm a huge deal in this town. Kind of a big deal. I'm a massive deal in this town.
Yeah,
My deal
don't
is
in-
massive.
Don't insult him.
Yeah. Apologies.
No, so I did school, high school, and all everything here, and then I moved to Boulder, and now I live in Longmont. So I've gotten like 10 miles in life. That's about how far I got.
Yeah, I'm getting some vibes from Tom Green from Road Trip. You remember that movie? You guys
Yeah.
ever see that one?
Oh,
They're
yeah,
like,
I know.
you've never left this town, have you, Barry? No, why?
Why would I?
I mean, I was talking to some other natives the other day about how like it just doesn't get old. I don't get sick of seeing the mountains or wildlife or anything here. Like it just there's other places to go, but I just don't get sick of it. You know,
I absolutely get sick of it.
Yes,
Really?
so tired.
Hundred-
that's crazy.
If I have to see one more deer, I'm gonna punch it in the face.
I will say,
I would
me
put money on the
driving
deer.
home on 36. I'm sick of seeing deer at like 10:30 at night. How about
Yeah.
that?
I
saw,
wanna be
like,
able
a
to just-
fucking devil elk the other day. Just like it's like 7 feet tall, just staring at me on the side of the road, and I was like, okay, I made it past you this
I
time.
swear
but,
on
like,
36 going out of Lyons, but this is PSA for those of you folks that like to come up here and then drive home. A, don't drink and drive. B, the fucking deer out there
Yeah, here we are.
like play a game of like how close can I jump to that car? Like I swear they've got money on it or something. Like
Yeah.
I totally
Please, I
killed
mean-
gold.
Yeah,
Yeah, two
playground.
deer, and I just went, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, I don't know, it's
Instead of
yeah,
a game of chicken,
fuck deer. I don't know.
it's
a
that
game of-
particular
it's a
like
game of
10 mile
deer.
stretch out to Boulder is just weird and
There's
sketchy.
always I just like count on seeing a deer at
Really?
10:30 at night, where it's like, all right, what's up, guys?
Should I go? Should I go?
I worked a catering wedding one time, and we were leaving. It was over by Red Rocks. We're driving up the back, and a deer jumped out, and our van hit the deer, and it didn't die. And I was like, "Yo, like we gotta call somebody to put it down. Like I'm not gonna let just that deer suffer."
You didn't want to kill it yourself?
I don't. What am I gonna fucking kill it with? A twig?
I don't know. Yeah, something. You can
Dude.
get creative.
Also, the noise that it was making was horrific.
Yeah,
it
the
was
fact
such
that
a
you were
horrible
like,
noise.
calling somebody instead of just putting it out of its misery yourself.
With what?
Anything.
hard.
Your foot, an elbow.
So I called the. I called the.
people's elbow to
from
kill
the
a
top,
deer.
from the
You
You're
know
just
what's
like
a good way?
overdoing it, just like shit. All right, if I go a little bit harder this way, it's like
We
you've
called
elbowed
the
it
cops.
8 times.
Tombstone pile driver that deer.
This is the first time I've been worried about PETA and MainStage Brewing Company.
Oh, they're not listening to this. they have other podcasts.
Yeah, they
to
dropped
listen
off
to.
as a sponsor a couple weeks ago.
We called the cops. So first of all, the guy driving was like, "I'm not supposed to be driving. You have to take the fall for this." And I was like, "Oh my god, you got to be fucking kidding
I'm not
me."
supposed to be
I'm not
driving.
supposed to be driving.
And so we called the cops and said that I hit the deer even though I didn't. And then I made a cop's night that night. They were so excited to shoot the deer. They were all trying to call dibs. And
Oh, they just wanted-
I'm
yeah.
like, Tom called it already.
Yeah.
To be clear, this was not while he was working at Ben Barley.
This was this was a long time ago.
Thank you for the
Decade.
disclaimer. Yeah, by the
Yeah.
way, we gotta protect Steve. You know. Yeah.
To be clear, none of the inappropriate jokes have occurred on Ben Barley time.
None. Well, some of them.
Yeah, most actually. Like a lot of the jokes. Yeah. Yeah, dude, those cops were probably just like super excited to use their.
They
gun
were
in some
they were
capacity.
thrilled. Yeah.
You guys know about like the elk in Boulder, right? You heard that story?
No.
There was
Yes,
an elk on
yes,
Mapleton.
yes.
Yeah.
Dude, the dude who wrote the song about the elk at Mapleton just hit me up for a gig.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
There's a dude that wrote a song about the elk.
Yeah, and that
What's
song
up?
went epically
Is it like
viral.
is it a tribute?
That
I
song
wanna
went
hear it
epically
now.
viral.
Tell
If
me
you're
the-
gonna do
tell
some
me the
work
story.
in post, this is the moment when you edit in the song.
So there was a giant, like, monster elk, big rack, and it just like kind of hung out in like the Mapleton area of like Boulder, and then there was like a night that all of a sudden some like supposedly someone called in, they were being aggressive, and these cops were like, well, we gotta go put it down. They shot it, and then there was like this huge like investigation into like were the cops like colluding to like kill it, and they like found information like the cops had like premeditated. They're like, we gotta go, like, I want that elk, like, it's
Yeah,
just
somebody,
like trophy hunting. And then there was like a week or like 2 weeks of like candlelight vigil in Boulder
For the elk, of course.
It was like I don't know, it was amazing.
That's a
It was
very
just-
Boulder thing
It was
to
like
have
the most
happen.
Boulder, yeah, I don't know.
So they colluded to like, all right, they're like, who has dibs?
No, they were like,
on this
I want
thing?
to shoot that elk. Like,
No,
I'm gonna
clearly
get it.
the
Like,
elk
Did somebody
lived
have
in-
dibs on it, or
the
was
elk
it just
lived
like
in the
whoever
neighborhood
gets
forever.
it?
The elk was like beloved to all the neighbors. Somebody called it in, so the cops showed up and shot the elk. The reason that the cop ended up going to jail on 9 counts of animal cruelty and all this shit. But
What?
the reason that went down is because there is the classic picture of like dude posing with dead animal.
Yeah.
It's
The
a
Jimmy
cop
John.
in a uniform, and like
I call that the Jimmy John.
the Jimmy John. Oh yeah.
like for sure.
Like, probably should have been in the seats we were at. So
How can you go to a playoff hockey game and not just be just the most obnoxious you could?
that's what I
possibly
thought.
be?
But yeah, a couple of people were like, seriously, guys, come on.
What? It's the playoffs. They're playing the fucking. Ryan Reeves is a bully.
So
We
jumping
can
from
yell.
animal attacks to the Avalanche.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
They really mauled the
We're really
competition,
gonna
yeah.
talk about hockey.
No.
Yeah.
Yes,
We
let's
can.
do
No,
it.
we don't have
Sam
to.
and I
We
agree
can.
on most things. Passion for hockey.
Would you say that Grubauer earned the Vezina Trophy? Okay, we'll move on. Tell us about this bear story.
Yeah.
I'm telling this
Are we just
story?
Tell the
bouncing
best
between
story.
Are we going
like,
back?
hockey bullshit and then like animal?
I actually
stories
meant
or
to.
what?
It was
You
a
talk
Bruins
about hockey,
reference.
you talk
It
about
is.
bears.
At
You
the
talk
same
about
time.
hockey, you talk about bears. No, we'll bounce and forth.
I think my bear story is better than any of his hockey stories.
Wow, that's very braggadocious of you. Very confident.
It's a
Okay,
good
all
story.
right.
This better be a goddamn
I want to
good
hear it
story.
because I got some fucking hockey stories. Let's go.
Speaking of which, this reminds me, we do need to get bear-proof containers for our situation. Back
Things you have to deal with in lions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's no joke. So,
Are animals
I can't
technically
believe I'm telling
homeless?
this story.
No, they have
No,
dens.
we're just in their home.
Yeah. It's just
I
different.
guess
It's just a,
We're
it's
just trespassing all
just
day.
a provocative question.
I
It's
just feel like-
all I'm going
Just
for.
for the record, stand my ground. That's animals doing their shit all the time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Get off my land.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
They're
much.
definitely in the get off my lawn kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Animals and the Native American population have ultimate stand my ground.
Yeah, this bear
Oh,
pulled a gun on me. It was scary.
Yeah. Like, dude,
No,
he
we
was
did
strapped
pull. We
for
did
sure.
pull a gun on the bear though. No, so this was 2014, 2015, something like that. Rocky Grass. So Rocky Grass, for those that don't know, massive bluegrass festival here in Lyons. Totally worth going to, and I say this the day after it's sold out, so y'all have fun trying to fight for tickets on the secondary market.
It's a good thing we know people here in Lions. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm a little fudge judge. Okay.
We can figure something
If
out.
you want some banjo, we got you.
That's
There's
Sam
just
Talent
so much banjo. You can just, yeah,
Bathe in it.
banjo all the time.
for days.
Anyway, it was something to do with a late freeze that destroyed all the berries in the high country.
Oh no.
So the whole freaking bear population of this whole part of Colorado just came way down in elevation.
Yeah.
So all summer, everyone's garages were getting broken into all over town, cars getting slammed, trash cans overturned, the works. This was when we really realized that bears were coming further down in elevation and becoming a problem.
the bears are coming.
Oh yeah. So at Planet Bluegrass, I don't know if that's a bear noise, but it's
No, it was like a sound the horn.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
a
okay.
horn for
Okay.
bears.
The bears are
Gotcha.
coming.
All right.
Keep up. Keep up.
That was
But-
a weird. I agree. That was a weird.
That was a
noise.
weird noise. Thank you.
No, Sam's was
No,
also.
I caught that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, so they collect all of the compost and recycle, and they do a
you shame
good job
me.
with compost. But
Yeah.
they got this massive 30-yard roll-off full of food and compost, no lid on it. The bears are like, "This is an excellent target."
Of course.
So
They
in
love
advance of the
dumpsters.
festival, when it was kind of partially full, we got raided a couple of times at night. We come in and there's just bags strewn all over the property, and we're kind of like, "All right, this is a problem."
Yeah.
Then
Totally different kind of ground score, by the way, for a bluegrass festival.
different. Yeah, the Bears were stoked. It's Friday night of the festival, so first night of the festival, and we start hearing like, dude, there's a bear on the property, and the whole west side of the property is like this cool hill with all these pine trees and ponderosa and stuff on it, and people are calling in. They're like, there's a bear on the property, and so me and the security team and a couple of the Boulder County sheriffs, love you guys, were up there on the hill looking for this bear. We finally spot the thing. So my brother, who worked for me at the time, is coming one direction. Me and a sheriff are going the other direction. The sheriff's got 12 gauge with bean bags out, and we're trying to.
Because everybody knows bears love cornhole.
Well, it's the beanbag rounds from the thing. It'll knock a bear out.
Oh,
much.
yeah, thank you.
But
Also,
It's a
You'll
great
get it in the
podcast, by
hole.
way.
I'm telling a serious story. You guys mock me all you want. That's exactly what's supposed to happen.
That's kind
It's
of
like you're like, no, that's not what it's.
that's kind of the point of the show.
A shotgun will also knock you out.
damn,
so-
that's true.
It's
Go
very
on.
true. So we're trying to knock the bear out. We're also trying to avoid the bear getting annoyed because we hit it in the wrong spot, running down the hill and into the crowd of 4,000 freaking people who have no idea what's going on and
yeah.
are watching music. It was
Do you think a bear would
Probably
do
this-
that though? I feel like bears would be too scared of that many people.
well, on one side the bear's got the highway, on the other side the bear's got the festival. North of it's got one of us, south of it's got the other, and there's a very narrow little slot we're trying to get it into so I can get out the north end of the property.
And I'm trying to ride this thing to safety. Is what I'm trying to do. Get on this bear's back.
I feel like
ride
that
a
is
bear
a tough one where
on
it's like,
bear
well,
all
we
day,
kind of
that'd
want
be
to
awesome.
disable it, but we also don't want to piss it off and then start just rampaging through a campground of
Yeah.
people
Yeah, because it
listening
might
to
not. It's not gonna
banjos,
eat anybody, but it's still like a hazard. You have a couple 100-pound animal. Like
Scared,
whatever,
I mean,
like,
yeah, 400-pound scared bear in the middle of a festival crowd at night.
yeah, swatting.
For
Doing
sure,
whatever, yeah,
it's
yeah.
going to be like claws out doing something.
You're
I
like,
feel like
shit,
I've seen that at a music festival
Yeah.
before.
That's the Burning Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Desert-
man, this
desert
acid's
bears.
strong.
I mean, so I don't know. I didn't get a picture that night. I wish I had, because if you don't follow it, you should jump on Colorado Big Game Wook Hunter on Facebook, which is by far the greatest Facebook page of all time. But it literally would just win that entire page. It's the greatest wook that ever came to Planet Bluegrass was that bear.
Was a bear.
Was that bear. That bear
heavily
came for the
dreaded.
food. That bear came for the food and the music and ended up getting shot with a beanbag.
Started
and
talking
had
about
to
his
leave.
trust fund. And
He's like started comparing his fish shows and stuff.
But
yeah,
we
like,
couldn't quite understand
This bear
what
tried
he
to
was
sell you
saying.
crystals.
Yeah.
That was the real problem. He was hawking.
Yeah, gets shot with a beanbag, and it's like, hey man, I have some really, really sweet like hand spun necklaces for you. And it's like, you're a bear, get out of here.
Get out of here, bear. Yeah, we don't have any time for this.
It's like I'm way too fucked up.
Hey, you know
to
what I
buy
just
crystals
remembered?
from a bear.
We should probably tell them their times.
Ooh,
Mine was real slow.
It was good.
actually
though.
wasn't
It
that
was,
bad.
Yeah, dude. I feel like you didn't give yourself enough credit there. It was a good chug.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
I've been practicing.
Looked good. Feels good. Looked good.
So that was my bear story. You want to talk about hockey now?
Oh,
well, I want to hear my times.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was a great bear story, by the
It
way.
was a good bear story. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say good.
Fuck you.
good bear story. I mean, I wouldn't want to fuck with that
He's
bear.
kind of a big
also.
deal. It's a decent bear story. Let's be honest.
My bear story is better than your bear story.
I mean, yeah, I don't have a better.
Mine was-
I can't one up you with a bear
Mine was
story
over a
right
couple
now.
martinis, so different kind of bear.
Oh, I get it. Huh? All right.
Anyways.
Eric,
I'm
you
slow now here.
you said that you weren't going to do well. You actually did pretty well.
Really slow.
You did. Our slowest is over 2 minutes, and you put
What?
it down.
You said no one was sipping.
They were.
I
were
said no one
trying-
has tried
I
to sip
drink
yet.
I
beer
promise
faster
you,
than that. Like,
they
It was
were
like a
trying to
gassy
chug.
panic attack. Is essentially what happened.
Yeah.
They just like
Are we
couldn't.
gonna name this
can you
person?
name names?
It was a guy got 10 barrel, right?
The worst was.
It was everyone
The,
that
the
works
worst
at
was
10 Barrel.
Keel from 10 Barrel.
They all just passed it around.
Brandon from Primitive chugged his out of the.
Oh, it was like a
Barone?
decanter. Yeah.
Oh.
It was like
What on earth at Primitive?
That
Oh, it
was
was a
more
pro,
like a
yeah,
sip.
yeah.
That was more like a sip.
If you want to punish me, you can send me to Primitive to chug beer. I love their beer. Do not want to chug any of it.
No.
could just
Well,
slap
actually,
the
it's.
bag.
I feel like it's actually kind of easier because it's still.
I mean, I'm
There's
getting
no
a little
carb in
older,
it,
just
yeah.
acid reflux waiting to happen now.
Yeah, I get that too. But also, that shouldn't affect your chug. That should affect you post chug.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it chugs my mental state.
It's more of a.
It's a
tomorrow
mental
problem.
game. Chugging.
mostly my
You've got to
ego.
be in the
Yeah.
moment, ready to roll.
Yeah. Anyways, you came in at 5.37 seconds, not bad. Not bad.
5.37.
Okay.
So if I had chugged something
You did chug something.
at 10% or more, I would have been okay.
You tied with Jan from our mutual friends. So Jan from
Yeah, Jan?
LMF.
Yeah.
You know, Jim?
Yeah. Do you?
So you tied with him.
Do you?
So
So
not
saying
bad.
like you do. Do you know Jan?
Yeah.
I've met Jim.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Doesn't matter.
Jan's
Cares?
around.
Jan's
Jan's
a
the
good dude.
man. All right, that's a good ride. Pretty good ride.
He's the jam. All right.
Sam, you did choose a beer over 8%, so you will get 3 seconds off your time. Your time before the 3 seconds was taken off was 4.63 seconds.
Oh wow. That's
With-
pretty good.
With 3 seconds taken off, you are now 10th on the leaderboard.
Yes!
Congratulations, Sam. You're just barely in the top 10.
Yeah!
It's really hard to crack. It's really hard to crack.
What was his
How,
time?
how many people do you have on the list now?
4.63.
4.6.
How many people on the list total, chug-wise?
4.63.
Just,
people.
So
if I had
it's
chugged
like
in
getting 10th place
acceleration,
with 11 people. It's like,
I would have beaten Sam.
108
Yeah.
chugs.
okay.
So you're
You
10th
need
out
to
So
of
I mean,
100.
like, yeah, whatever the 10%.
Could've
So
done
Yeah.
it's so tempting right now.
I
to
know.
just undo
Yeah.
Sam's
I know,
top
because
10.
you knew. Yeah, that happened on the New Image episode where Brandon really wanted to get into the top 10, so he chugged a beer, didn't get it, so then he chugged another one, got it. And then Gavin just like strolled in to grab something, and we were like candidly like, hey man, do you want to do a chug? And he was like, sure. Downed one, knocked Brandon off immediately.
I think
It's
I could
so-
outdo my time though. This is what's hard. Where I'm like, if he would do it, then I would just like outdo him.
It's
though.
so
Like,
tempting to outdo Sam right now.
You guys want to go for it?
I mean,
Oh, I'm supposed to get to this meeting, but this seems like just such a better idea.
it does.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
the
we're
whole
fun.
point is that we're having a good time.
We're fun to hang out with.
That's kind of the idea.
Meetings.
I'm talking to the guy that I'm supposed to go meet with. I'm so tempted to call him and be like, "Can you pick me up in Lions?"
Do it on the
That way I
podcast.
can go.
You're a
Should I
big
do
deal.
this right now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
do
dude.
it
I
on
heard,
the
I heard
podcast.
you're a pretty good.
Put it on
you're kind of-
speaker.
You are a big deal.
I heard
Just
you're a
say
pretty big
kind
deal.
of a big
here.
deal.
Put it on speaker.
You're a big deal.
Hold on.
Just let him know you're on speaker. Or he's on speaker.
This is
We're
not-
all on speaker.
Now I'm also just
An
like, well,
international
I don't have to work
broadcast.
tomorrow somehow. So
Yeah, fuck it.
Hey,
It's not like you
so-
don't own the
I'd be
place.
like,
So I'm on a podcast right now.
Yeah, speaker.
And Sam just cracked the top 10 leaderboard for a chugging beer time.
sorry.
And I really, really, really want to throw him off the top 10. Which means I need to chug a beer. Which means he would need to pick me up in Lions.
Seems reasonable.
Is he getting permission from Allie?
no, not at all.
Well, he's
Yeah.
not
He's
gonna
like
put it-
trying
But then I
do a
would, but if you
business
pick me up in
meeting.
Lions, I will buy you all of the tacos you want.
That's a good deal.
Tacos.
That's a really good deal. He
That's
hasn't
it.
even- he hasn't
That's
even
like
offered
6 tacos.
He hasn't even offered that
That's
to us
totally
yet.
fine.
Uh-oh.
Cool. That's totally fine. I'm gonna text you in a second. Can you
Deal smooth?
put together
I'll do
a couple of
Gateway.
K12s and some gear for a
Yep.
band tomorrow night?
Smooth for his check.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. I got.
Well, I don't know. He has to do an 8%.
I have my K10s as
If he's,
monitors.
well, it depends
That's
on
all
if
I
he.
own.
Gives permission.
Yep. From his
For his
friend.
business.
yeah.
Well, I have your mic case.
This is a wild part of the podcast.
I don't know. It's a little suspenseful. Like, I
It
kind of
is.
like it. Like it's
Yeah.
adding
What's gonna happen?
a little bit to the
Sweet.
mix here. Is this on?
Most of them are.
All right, I'm gonna do the
game on.
Mota.
Yes!
Nice.
Game on?
It's game on.
Fuck yes.
For the record, the guy that is picking me up loves tacos and tequila. That was not a cheap date, so
I mean, he sounds
I
like
better
my
fucking
kind of
win.
dude.
So you
I
have
better
to
fucking
do
win.
an 8%er for your
8% or
He
better.
does,
So it's
yeah.
acceleration or triple.
So
That's all we're
You gotta do
saying.
it. You gotta do acceleration, like right. It's
Triple's
like
too easy to drink.
That's
Are
what
you,
you
am
want.
I just
though.
throwing you off, or are you trying to better your time?
I'll try to better my time. I don't know.
Great.
All right.
Actually, can I do a comment?
I'll take his juicy bits.
Juicy
I'll
bits,
do that.
comrade.
Thank you.
I'll do comrade. Yeah.
You're gonna do the comrade.
It's right
Just
here. I
as a
can just-
PSA,
Yeah,
this
no, I
is
need to
why
get
you don't
glasses
drink and
for
drive.
glasses.
Because weird
Because-
shit happens on
Yeah.
Because
podcasts.
you're having too much fun.
Podcast.
Sorry, what's that, Darcy?
No, I said you can't drink from the tap. You have no glasses.
Oh yeah.
Do we need to get behind the bar right now? Do a little bar backing? Do some dishwashing?
Well, I mean,
I've done
I
that
think we're
before.
gonna be all right.
Dude, I've done that before at a bar I used to work at, and then I knew they were swamped one night, and I just like jumped behind the bar one time. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Don't fucking worry about it. Like, I'm just gonna jam this out. Like, really
I'm just
quick."
gonna clean glasses. That's
Yeah,
all I'm gonna do.
that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean these glasses, then I'm gonna leave. Like, not even leave. I'm gonna go to the other side of the bar. But
And they're
yeah.
like, well, this is like a labor violation, but also, yeah, we get some.
But also, we don't
glassware.
wanna do it.
Yeah,
We
whatever.
don't wanna
yeah,
do
fuck
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys like? How did you even really get started in craft beer? I mean, because for me, I guess mentioning that comment was kind of how I really got into it. I worked at a Belgian beer bar in Buffalo called the Blue Monk. They had like 32 taps on, and it was all really rare, esoteric shit. Because the owner had multiple bars, so he had a shitload of buying power, all of the distributors and stuff. And I just got introduced to so much that I could just have a couple ounces of from time, whenever I wanted, really. And that was that's where it all kind of started for me. Do you guys have kind of that moment where you were like, craft beer is going to be a huge part of my life?
I mean, I do for sure. Yeah. So when I grew up living in Lyons. We've covered this. At Planet Bluegrass, New Belgium was the beer sponsor for, God, close to 20 years, something like that. And my first craft beer that I ever drank, my first beer I ever drank was a 40 of Mickey's, which I don't think counts. Because
We've
whatever.
talked about it on the
It
podcast.
counts as your first beer, though, right?
Is it beer?
Especially
It's
when
malt
you,
liquor. It's malt liquor.
All right.
It's still beer.
especially when you put some.
Not all malt
make it
liquor is
beer.
beer. Not all malt liquor is beer. I would say that it's close to beer.
What is
all
now?
pils-
Like, what is beer then?
all pilsners are malt liquor. That's what I believe. And if you put a little orange juice in there, you've got hazy IPA. No, that's
Yeah.
all it is. Yeah.
Well, ignoring the fact that my first craft beer was Mickey's. No. My first beer was Mickey's. My first beer I ever drank was 1554 from New Belgium.
Ooh.
And it was backstage at one of the festivals.
A little sports
And-
beer on a hot summer day.
Well, and all my friends in high school were, when I was over
Don
21,
Shane.
were drinking whatever, PBR and Keystone and just crap. And I was like, this is fantastic and awesome. And I don't know. From there, I pursued concerts and shit, and then ended up in craft beer, but it was always like craft beer.
You
That's
seem
all I
like you've
drank
got a
most
really
of.
deep connection with the music festival here, by the
Oh, yeah.
way. Yeah. So
I
like-
worked there for a long time.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm curious about. So did you help? Do you help like run it still at all, or?
No, I stopped working there in 2016, but I don't know, off and on through the years, I worked on many shows. I ran my own production company for a long time. I've been in and around the concert industry for a long time, which is how I ended up at Left Hand. I went there to run their foundation and produce their Oktoberfest and Leftapalooza and Nitrofest, all their big festivals. So I was brought in to do the entertainment side of Left Hand Brewing, which was super freaking fun.
Yeah.
But my theory going into it was I want to work in the concert industry because concerts are super fun. Started doing that and realized that the entire point of the concert industry is to sell beer. So I decided to go into beer so I could do that better.
Yeah.
Now that I'm owning a brewery, all I want to do is concerts. So it just seems to keep going
Full
in a circle.
circle.
So
Now let me ask you this, and this is so normally on this show we do bad reviews. You guys,
Oh yeah.
you guys are so new that you only have one 4-star review on multiple platforms. I'll say, but it is a 4-star review.
Oh fuck.
That's the worst one you
I've
have.
read it, so I know where this is going. It's going to be great.
So instead of doing that, you don't know where this is going.
No. This is great. You should read the review.
Instead of doing the review,
You should read the review because I have an answer for it.
I don't come here and tell you what you should be brewing. All right, come on my
He's got something
podcast.
better.
Tell me
No,
how I
You
should
did
be.
come here.
I did come here. That's true. Instead of looking at bad reviews, I did find your LinkedIn.
Excellent.
Ooh yeah.
I know. I think
Does it
what's
say
up,
big deal in Lions?
No, but I can
To
change
have a
that. I can change it real
LinkedIn.
quick.
He's
I'm
one of
changing
two
it right
citizens
now.
with a LinkedIn.
No, I'm on it. I'm changing it. That's great.
So, yeah, Planet Bluegrass, you worked for. Tell me about TED Talks. You did 10 Mile High. What got you doing that?
I worked at TEDx Mile High for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, something like that.
A year and 8 months, according to LinkedIn.
So when you leave something like Planet Bluegrass and you look like a wook, I had full man bun, hadn't shaved in a while, hadn't showered in a while.
You had to go full narc after that, right?
Yeah, no, I was like, I think it's time to like put my life together. So I went and I started working on my MBA.
Always a bad idea.
Yeah, don't do it.
And I started working at TED Talks, and it was super freaking cool. Sorry, I worked at TEDx Mile High, not official TED. But
Oh, no wonder you're so pretentious. Now it all makes sense.
I am a huge fucking pretentious douchebag. I am all over
It
that.
all makes sense now.
You can just keep giving me those compliments all day. It's
Are
great.
you good at public speaking? At all?
I mean, we'll let other people decide that, but yes.
Okay. No, I mean, if you're confident in it, yeah, that's.
I'm better than others. I was never on stage. I've never given a TED Talk.
You
But
haven't?
no.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
time for you to sign up for the main stage, I think.
I mean, did you hear that
right.
bear story? That was quite detailed. It was quite serious.
and you
had
guys
a lot to
mocked me
solve.
the entire time.
Yeah,
So
that's-
no, I'm not good at public speaking.
Oh,
People
no.
just make fun of me. It's great.
No, you just came on the wrong show.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this podcast is public speaking. I mean, I have done sets for 3 people before, but I don't know that that counts. Cool. I was just curious about that.
Yeah.
And then you worked at Left Hand
And
for
then-
a long time.
Sam, how about you? How'd you like get started? And then, because we heard about you guys through the
Also-
upslope.
Yeah.
Sam, I tried to look up your LinkedIn, and you don't have one. So
Sam does
I-
not have.
Oh, you mean you're
social
not trying to
medias.
get hired right now?
Dude, I guess like tailoring into this like upslope thing, like I never submitted a resume. I didn't even apply. I just showed up, and like one of my friends was like, "Oh yeah, like I want to go to the CSU game, and like, do you want to cover my shift at Upslope and can beer?" I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" Like, so like I've never fucking submitted a resume to any job. I've never applied to
Oh,
a
really?
job. No, like
you've
Can
never.
you submit me a resume, please?
no.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
No? You're saying no?
Either
You will
I would
not
say
submit it?
either. I think you should either give him a resume or perform a TED Talk. One of the two.
We're gonna have a job interview for you.
Yeah,
right now.
maybe. Yeah.
I want a
They're
TED
gonna be
Talk.
like, you're not hired, and like, fuck.
I used to ask that as an interview question. If you were going to give a TED Talk, what would you give it about? It's a great question.
Mine would be
Rice
about.
loggers.
Yeah.
Rice loggers?
Mine would be
I
about
would give
how
a TED Talk
to.
about bears.
Mostly rice and bears.
Rice and bears.
Bears
and
and
hockey.
banjos.
I don't know. What do we?
The story of MainStage. What is it?
yeah.
Mostly rice and bears.
Forward-thinking strategy
bears,
and rice
hockey.
loggers, hockey and craft beer. I don't know. Yeah.
Bears and banjos. This is what we're calling the Cellar West Club.
Change the name
Bears
of the
and banjos.
brewery.
Okay.
Change the name
I like
of the
that.
brewery. Bears and banjos.
Too much banjo. No.
What
But yeah,
about what about banjos
need
and
more
bears and
cowbell.
banjos and banjos and banjos?
more banjo? It's like less banjo.
Any less?
There's a
would be
joke in bears eating banjo players somewhere. I'm going to work on that for a little while.
Yeah.
Marinate on that.
Come try it at our open mic tonight.
God, no.
Go.
I'm about to chug this like double IPA. I don't think I'm.
good. Yeah, you ready to rock and roll with that? By the way.
Are we doing this?
Yeah.
Are
We're just going head
You're
to
going.
head.
You're going first because
I mean, he already
I am
beat
doing
you.
this entirely
No.
to beat his.
No.
I beat him.
I think I need
No,
a rebuttal
go
though.
first.
So
No.
you have to go
No.
first, and then I get a rebuttal.
Yeah, because he gets the. You're trying to beat his time.
But I had him head to head. He just got the 3-second bump.
Well, that's not. You didn't technically win.
I
you're
agreed.
talking
You
I
didn't
did
take
not
advantage.
game.
You didn't
You're
take
talking big
advantage of the
game.
rules.
This is not technical brewing. This is technicalities.
I mean, this is not a technically interesting podcast.
Technically interesting, guys.
This is
technically, this is not an interesting
technically.
podcast. It's all about where you put a comma.
Yeah, you got it. All right. So we're still waiting on puns from you two then, or what? What do we got here?
I know. I lack in the pun department. Hopefully, it'll come. I want it to come naturally. I don't want to force it.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll pun or you won't pun. There's nothing you can do about it.
Nah,
It's gonna
something-
happen or not.
Yeah. It just kind of has to happen. So, who's ready to go? Now
I think he has to go. First.
I think Eric has to go
because
first.
I need to. Be
I think
able
Eric
to
has to go
rebuttal.
because right now you're the one in
yours,
the. like-
yours is not 8%.
It's not. No.
So I think you should go first because that's the time off. So you're
Well,
already
like
on
I'm
me.
not really gonna. I'm never gonna win unless I can do this in like 0.3 seconds.
Dude.
But it's more like the raw time.
Do it for
you
Mikko
know?
Rantanen. Do it for Mikko.
I mean, I'm gonna chug a beer. Don't you worry.
Yeah, but my point would essentially be that you're in the leader position right now. You are not. You are challenging him, so you need to go first.
I think so. I agree with that.
The challenger has to go first.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I accept. I mean,
Well, then yes, you have to.
No,
you
it's-
said you accept.
You
no,
accept.
I agree with you because I thought Sam
I
was going to be a
accept.
man and chug something big, but he's not.
Wow, dropping.
Can
in-
I? Yeah. Does Lee want to give me a ride home tonight, or what? No.
If you come to Hefe's with us and drink way too much tequila and eat tacos, sure.
Sounds like a.
Oh no!
Are we closing early
Oh,
tonight?
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
It's like, hey, we had a really great podcast, and now we're not open for tonight's
This
service.
was the most
so-
expensive podcast we've ever done. We had to close the brewery because we simply just had to leave.
I mean, we had a good time, so
That's important.
that's gotta count for something.
What's up, Darcy?
We were all just trying to see if you chugged your beer and beat Sam yet.
Do you want to check it out?
Oh, it's about to happen.
Do you
Please.
you
All
wanna
right,
get a
here.
video?
You can
Put
be.
this in your
You should
socials.
decide though, Darcy. Da-
Are you getting the whole staff to come out here? Because that's
Yeah.
going to be great.
That'd be pretty great.
yeah, I think so.
I'm just going to laugh.
Live stream it.
Yeah. Facebook Live.
Yeah.
This is the content we need.
LinkedIn Live. You can't
Yeah,
participate.
LinkedIn Live. But
I don't know if
put this
LinkedIn
on your
Live is
LinkedIn
big.
profile.
All right, so we've got Parker and Darcy
Parker.
out here. This is going to become a problem. All right, am I really doing
Are we
this?
just going head to head, or are you going first?
No, it's-
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
What was your time?
Yeah, Sam was 1.36. Well, he
Well,
got.
I got a 3 second.
it's over 8%, you get 3 seconds off your time.
Okay.
So Sam was 4.36.
That's still really
4.36 or
good.
6.3.
On what? The acceleration?
Yeah.
Sam was 6.3.
6'3".
6.3, and I was
6'3".
3 something.
You were 5'37".
5.37, so I got to take a second off. All right.
You gotta take a second off, and that's a heavier beer. Yeah.
And it's a heavier beer. It's okay. It's just acceleration, 16 ounce, which Fred called earlier. Relax the throat.
That's easy. You got a gallery now.
I'll show you.
All right. Wait, do I have to come up with
lot
a
of-
joke
it's a lot
after
of
this? 'Cause I burned my joke the first time.
Yeah. I think you're safe.
All right.
You can do this.
Lock it up. Shit's weak.
Believe in yourself. When no one
Oh!
Oh! That was pretty good.
That was pretty fast.
It was good.
That was pretty good, yeah.
You didn't spill much. We've seen much worse.
Yeah.
Much
People
worse.
picked up their beer immediately after.
We will allow that amount of spillage.
All right.
You're also given that amount of spillage.
Yeah, no, I'd probably spill it. I can't even drink water correctly. Like, it's always.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What number of beer are you guys on?
That's a number. It's a round number.
Don't ask questions about your boss.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Sam. All right. Just don't fuck it up. Act like you've done it before.
Lighter beer, more carbonated.
Nope. It's doing it wrong. It is incorrect technique.
Same amount of beer
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Caught on the technicality.
Yep. No, I fucked up.
Wow, you can play goalie for the Vegas Knights.
Oh, you said you weren't gonna
Hockey. Woo!
I mean,
that's it. That's all hockey.
I still respect Flurry.
So did he win?
No, I did not get there. It did
Interestingly enough,
There's a
you
twist.
you put your beer down without it being
No,
finished.
that one's a wash, right?
It was a wash, so I'm just going to give you the time of 6.66 seconds.
Cool. I'll take
So,
it.
6'9", 6'9", 6'9".
yeah. 6'9", 420, 666.
666. The Devil's Chuck.
Eric, what do you think? How'd you do?
Do you think you beat us first time?
1.9, 2 point something.
7.
7.9 seconds. Add 3 seconds.
You think 7 point? You want to add time? I gotta look
raw
up
raw time? My guess would be raw time was like 5.2 something.
What, you got a calculator out right now? What are you doing?
I'm measuring things.
Carry the 3.
Texting my
Okay.
mom.
What was the raw time? And then I
Yeah.
gotta do this
So-
math.
Updating my LinkedIn.
Minus 3.
The raw time was 4.33 seconds, putting you at 1.33
Yes!
seconds.
Suck
Knocking Sam up and moving into 9th place overall.
Yes!
Putting Erica from Kuda's Corner in that
Bullshit.
10th spot.
This is horrible.
So worth it.
This is the
I
kind of
actually,
competition.
I really don't think I have an extra gear to like.
No,
Yeah,
it's
like,
okay.
it's you know.
can try again if
There's
you
like
want.
a little bit like a raw talent thing with like chugging that like.
And in
you
my
can
life,
train
I've
for,
never
but
had it until now.
Yeah.
I'm upset that he won. I'm upset. You didn't.
I'm so proud.
I'm upset that he won. I had a lot
I'm
of
just
faith
gonna have
in
to
you.
hear about this forever. Like
Forever.
I don't.
Okay,
Forever
no.
and ever.
You can get it back when we do the leaderboard this September.
Yeah, I can check.
Yeah, we'll come back.
faster than
We'll
you
do a
for
thing.
sure.
Everyone else in the industry can come up here. We will do the whole leaderboard. We'll get a top 10 going in one
Oh,
day.
He's
dude, we
already
had-
trademarked leaderboard.
we had-
Oh yeah, no, I'm on it. I did it on LinkedIn. It's
We
great.
had that going. We did our first live episode down at this comedy festival in Trinidad about a month ago, and we had a couple ideas. We have a few ideas for what we want to do with live episodes moving forward, but for that particular one, we just want to make sure people are there for the episode.
Yeah.
So we just did like a chug contest for like 30 different people. And then you get to tell like a bombing story, which is also part of our comics episodes where we had bombers out on the table and stuff. It was super fun. Like it turned out to be like really awesome. We just had like 30 different people chug for time.
No, let's plan it out. You're going to come up in September. We're going to do the Leaderboard live episode. That's LITER board, trademark MainStage Brewing Company.
Hashtag TEDx.
TEDx, yeah.
No, TEDx has nothing to do with this shit. Trying to sell beer to TEDx, by the way, was one of the most difficult things I've ever done.
Hashtag bears and banjos.
Hashtag Bears and
Banjos.
Banjos. No, but you'll come up because one of the things we're going to do for Oktoberfest here is we're going to take off all the beer we've got. We may have a couple of our own Marzens or German style beers at that point. We'll put those on, and we're going to grab Oktoberfests and German beers from everybody who makes one that time of year.
Sure.
And we're going to put them all on tap up here for the whole breadth of Oktoberfest, all 17 days.
Oh yeah.
So if you come up here looking for a hazy IPA, you're probably SOL.
Good.
But it also means we can probably get a whole bunch of friends up here from all over the place and put together the leaderboard.
A little fun
MainStage
contest,
Brewing
yeah.
Company.
The leaderboard. Trademark. No, that
Trademark.
sounds that sounds like a great idea. I mean, we would love to be able to do some comedy stuff with you guys too.
Yeah,
It sounds like we
sweet.
just need to stay in touch.
Yeah, for sure.
Make some plans.
I think you should have named your brewery the Leaderboard. I don't think that one's been taken yet.
No, we're going to do it with the boot. It's going to be great. Also, by the way, I'm now 9th on the list, and Sam is not on the top 10.
I'm
Not
outside.
true.
No,
Just to
I
be
got
very
it,
clear.
dude. Yeah.
You were there
Just
for a
on the
little
outside.
bit. Everybody's got their
I
5
enjoyed my
minutes of fame.
time in the sun, you know?
You're like the
yeah.
Maple Leafs.
Yeah, had a great regular season and then went out in the playoffs. Fuck.
The Connor McDavid of chugging beers.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Yeah.
To be very clear, I did not expect that to work. I did it for the comedy, but I'm really glad it worked.
Yes.
And you now got a ride to
Yeah, you got a
tacos,
ride.
Like,
And I got to ride to tacos,
I feel like
and
you
I don't have to drive to
somehow-
Fort Collins.
You somehow won on that. I don't know.
Wins on wins on wins.
Yeah.
Seems like a good deal. Actually, something I was curious about before I forget to ask is like, so the beer that you guys have available right now is like a more West Coast IPA. Yeah.
Yep.
Is there a general theme for the brewery that you guys are going for, and not in terms, well, just in terms of like styles? Like, is there something you're going to try to gravitate towards, or is it going to be whatever?
I
the
mean,
fuck you
honestly, like we like set out to like try to eliminate like whatever like barriers or like things like
barriers?
Yeah, yeah, barriers.
Finally,
Oh,
the
fun, you got it. Yeah.
Finally.
But no, like
You're
would-
left with a punt. You're
I
still
just
looking
did
for a
it.
punt?
I just said
Oh, you
one.
got that one.
Well, he said it, but then I caught what was punny about it.
Yeah.
All right. So it's just me now? I have to
Yeah.
come up with a punt?
Yeah, you got one left.
Can't end this until we've got one more pun.
We're gonna
And
be
I
here for a
also
long
mine's
time.
trademarked now, so I feel like I'm still fucking winning. On that. Come on.
The leaderboard?
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
smashing barriers.
Oh yeah. But anyways, I was like, yeah, barriers.
We're just making smash beers the whole time?
What was burn beers?
Burn beers.
We're burning beers.
Burn beers. But yeah, honestly, like
That
we
was the
just
sound
like
of a
want to
pun missing,
brew
by the way.
a wide variety of stuff. People that are driving in from Oklahoma, Texas, going up to Estes Park, that are like, "Well, you guys got Coors Light." Sorry, I shouldn't like say it like that, but like, yeah, like
You guys got
know,
Coors Light.
But like, yeah, like I want to like have like cool like beers, different styles, whatever it is.
But what's
like,
your forte? Like, what do you make really
Like,
well?
I would say.
I mean,
Like I have a knack for some lager.
Wait,
like,
hold on 1 second. Darcy's leaving. When you're on your way in tomorrow, can you pick up like a really awesome wrestling belt that says I knocked Sam out of the top 10?
I do not have to pick one up because I own one.
Number
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
By the
I
way,
forget it.
Should
shout
just
out
hang
to
up-
Darcy. who's
Thank
our
you,
tasting
Darcy.
manager.
Great.
Darcy's amazing. Couldn't do this without her.
Camera, so-
You're well hidden from the camera. Couldn't do this without Darcy. She buys things like wrestling belts for us. It's awesome.
Don't need to, I already own it.
Right. She already owns
Keep it at the
wrestling
bar. Keep it at the bar, and then it should just be a running thing that you guys do whenever somebody wants to challenge.
And like
Duel.
This is a bad plan.
This
for
is
us.
not the end. This is the beginning right now.
This
I
is
mean,
the start,
this
really.
guy's already talking about an employee chugging contest after work. So.
See?
This is a bad plan.
That's why it's a good plan.
I can't wait to call my wife and be like, "Can you pick me up from work tonight?"
Oh, we'll give you a ride, buddy. You
I'll call her for you if you want. Ask her to pick you up.
just have
That'll
to
be
sit.
worse.
You just have to sit in the child seat, but we'll give you
That's
a ride.
fine,
Yeah.
Have you
I'm a
talked to
child.
her since the Avs game? Because I can drop you off at Ballerina.
Has she ever made you sit in the back on the way home from somewhere? I'm pretty sure my wife has done that to me like twice.
Is that like a shaming technique? Or what
Because
is
I was just drunk and she had to pick me up and she's like, "You're sitting in the back. You're not puking all over the dashboard. You are sitting in the back." It's where she puts
I don't know that I've ever had that happen. to
Really?
me. It's like getting like lift shamed. Like
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a weird role-playing movie.
Is it like if you're gonna puke in your car, it doesn't matter if it's in the front or the back, does it?
Oh, it's way easier to clean in the back.
Really?
Is it?
Oh
Yeah.
So many fewer.
On a
Imagine
seat?
puking on.
So many fewer nooks and crannies for the shit to
Yeah,
get into.
imagine
I feel like
all
you
the,
could
like
go-
if you puke on your radio.
I feel like you could go cup holder though.
I
Strong.
don't know. Like,
you
what kind of seats are we talking about here? I feel like the dashboard is like plastic and stuff, and like you like
Solid
puke
points.
on like something that is like fabric. Like that's soaking.
Yeah,
I don't know about this.
solid chunks.
There's like
solid
that
points.
like fucking pocket.
I guess
like,
it
if
depends
you puke
too
in
on
that,
you
like,
kind of. It depends if it's like a
don't
chunky
know.
vom or like all liquidy, you know?
Oh, liquid.
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 I don't know. Maybe it's a puke thing. Maybe it's just
Liquid.
a you do not deserve to sit up front right now because you're acting like a child. And
Yeah,
it just
well,
puts me in the
that's
back.
where I'm like, it's like a little bit like the shaming thing. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
as
yeah.
far as like the like technically interesting.
That could be a
Sitting in
kink
the
though
back.
too.
Sitting in
very
the back is
effective.
where the
She's
role.
only sit in the
She's
back.
done it like twice.
That's
in,
what
like,
I'm saying.
15
That, like
years.
sitting in the back is where the role play begins. Like, so where are you in from?
yeah.
She's flew in from wherever.
I'm just here for. You're here for work. Huh?
Yes.
Oh,
Is
you
this
don't
your
know
pleasure?
that.
I was on my way there.
Yeah. It's so good. So you make pilsners.
Like, round it. No, like I don't know, like things I like traditional like lager stuff. It's like the usual brewer, like oh yeah, typical lager
I
stuff.
mean, do you guys have the equipment here to do like lagering stuff sufficiently, or?
Well, not here.
To,
We
like-
will. Yeah, we're buying some different like some serving tanks that'll allow us to basically use them for serving tanks or for lagering. So they'll be like kind of multi-use. So we'll have some horizontal kind of like aging tanks that'll
Okay.
allow us to do kind of like longer term lager stuff.
Nice.
Or we can just use them as like basically a bright tank. So
Sure.
but yeah, I don't know. I just love hoppy beers. I like, you know, I feel like I don't have a good answer for this. Where I'm like, I like
I'm just
a lot of
curious.
different beers.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I mean, because I'm always curious to ask brewers that question because the easy answer is like, well, everything I make, I try to do it well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I feel I'm not a brewer, so in my mind, I'm thinking like, there's got to be one or two particular styles that you think you nail like better than most people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just if I'm
No,
wrong,
that's fair,
if
yeah.
I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I just curious about it.
No, I think it's also like arrogant to be like, I'm the best at brewing every style. You know, it's like
yeah.
usually like
I'm not
yeah.
going to be that arrogant asshole, but Sam is the best at brewing every style.
But like I don't know, when you think about like when you think about craft and like the word craft, it like, you know, in the traditional sense, it was like something that you did like over and over and over again to like continue to refine. And like
Yeah.
that sometimes gets lost on people. It's
Well,
like
that's-
if you actually are good, like if you want to get to like a mastery level, you kind of have to continue to do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's
Make
another.
the same beer, make the same style of beer. So
I
Same
love
thing with
talking
each other,
about the parallel between comedy and beer on the podcast all the time. Not a surprise. That's a really good one too, where it's like you learn how to craft certain things, right, and you spend time doing it. And like there's different styles of jokes too, right? Like one-liners versus storytelling versus other stuff.
But what people don't realize is that you're telling the same jokes a lot, like over and over again.
Over
Yeah,
and
yeah.
To make
over and
it
over.
better, right?
Well,
Like,
but this is where the art form comes in, is because I've seen this in bands over and over too, and I see this in beer and I see this in comedy. Is you walk into a room and sometimes it's a cold room that is not ready to laugh. Sometimes they are warmed up and ready to go. Sometimes it's a beer consumer who is just primed for the coolest, weirdest shit of all time. Sometimes they drink Bud Light.
Yeah.
And it's the ability to both satisfy the person that's ready to laugh and the ability to get somebody who is having the shit day to turn their night around and like be there with you.
Totally.
And,
Yeah.
and it's consistency, it's being creative, it's being able to read the room, it's being welcoming and inviting, and at the same time
Having
being able to do
options.
something that's absolutely super fucking expert. And
yeah.
yeah.
and that sweet spot is where both brewers and entertainers manage to find that whatever it is, that X factor where all of a sudden it's really worth showing up for. And that's the hardest thing to pull off. I mean, that's hands down the hardest
Well, a
thing
lot
to
of
pull
that
off.
comes with the work, right? I mean, being ready to accommodate anybody that walks into the room or whatever room you walk into from a performance standpoint is being prepared. It's having done all the work to make sure that the song is tight, so that way if you do need an opportunity to like riff off of something, you can. Same thing with a joke, right?
Yeah.
There's plenty of opportunities where you're going to go up there and tell the jokes, but then based on stuff that's like happening in the room at the time, because it's very circumstantial, you're willing to pick on an audience member or just riff on an idea. It's so contextual, right?
Yeah.
But it's all that work that went into it to like tighten this thing so much, like a beer, that yeah, I can walk anybody through the menu that we have right now and get you something that you need, and I have confidence that it's going to work for whoever walks in here, right?
Yeah, but it's that flexible mindset, the ability to say that this night is not like the other night, this day brewing is not like the other day brewing, is what the really, really masterful brewers manage to pull off. Because there are amazing brewers who go into their facility and they make the thing that they're best at, and that's what they do. And I have a ton of respect for that. But the brewers that I am most enamored with are the ones who walk into their facility and manage to turn it into something else. They're able to brew a beer that kills with the bluegrass crowd on the weekend, and they're able to brew a beer that just absolutely slays at GABF with the super nerd crowd in some obscure category. And that's where you hit the next level.
And another parallel, which I'm curious as to what you guys would have to say too, is like in comedy we have this thing that exists where like there's comics who are like learning and they're getting a lot better, but they're really, really cocky and already think they're the best, right? Do you guys ever have like people come in and give you beer and like they're like, yeah, I'm the best brewer ever, and you try it and you're like, I could fix this, this, and this. Does that exist for you guys in that realm?
I mean, we haven't had as like honestly just the nature of like where we're at is like we pretty much like know all the people like the beer that we're putting on, because we have to be like, hey, will you sign this legal document? And they're like, usually it's like you're just buying a keg of beer and like you don't have to do that. So
But-
like we
but I
don't
mean,
have
like,
as
what-
much like many people that are like,
either
come try our
salespeople
beer.
or like home brewers, or like if you ever experienced
Oh, the
anything like
dreaded
that at all.
homebrewer.
Just
Oh,
ever.
The dreaded homebrewer
Yeah, that's
conversation.
what I'm
They
saying.
always
Like-
show up at Friday at 5 p.m. being like, can I get some yeast? And it's like, dude, I don't know that this is the best time to ask for that.
Yeah, there's only so many arenas where that sentence
Do they ever
happens.
give you samples though? Do homebrewers ever
Yeah.
give you
Oh,
samples?
yeah.
Yeah. And I imagine that it's not great.
Usually
I'm just
not.
I'm
yeah.
just trying to draw a
Usually
parallel
not.
between like comics that think they really know what they're
I
talking
mean,
about.
it's hard to like if you are in the mindset of like my shit is the shit. I'm like that good. Like I feel like the best brewers I know are like humble and they're like,
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know everything.
Right. Yep.
And like I'm super critical. Like I almost like don't like beers that I brew in a weird way because I'm like
Yeah, man,
I could do it
it's
better.
So similar.
And like and it's
so
it's
similar.
hard and it's like
Yeah.
it's like that's like the best brewers I've met are like in that kind of realm
Yeah.
where they're like not like cheerleaders, they're not like out there like marketing, they're like I did a pretty damn good job, but like I know I could do better the next round.
yeah.
Like that's like the crap.
Yeah,
thing
jokes
that
are
I
the
put-
same way. You always see what you did wrong.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though nobody else knows.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
it can
yeah.
be like amazing. Like I mean, I've brewed people that are like, oh, I fucking love that beer. That was like almost like people have like come and like, dude, that 5th anniversary like barrel aged stout. Like I still remember that. Like it is amazing. And I'm
You
like,
crushed. I love that joke. And you're like, I stuttered.
yeah, and it's like, well, like I didn't like X, Y, and Z about that,
Yeah.
and like I could if I got to redo it again, like I would do this. Better.
And you also
like,
get-
you don't want to like hate yourself
no.
and be like
Right. It's
a balance for
self-flagellating, but it's like.
But it's a weird balance of being self-flagellating and also being very confident. Because one of the things I like about you is that you're very confident in your ability to brew. You're very confident in the decisions that you make. You came back from when we brewed this beer at Copper Kettle that we're all drinking right now.
And you had 11th place on the chug.
Yeah,
you got 11th place.
Yeah,
Lest we forget.
And the leader list coming soon.
thanks for
Trademark
reminding
that.
me.
But no, you came back from that brew day and you were like, here are the things that went wrong. Here's what I would have changed. Here's what I would have done differently. But at the same time, it came out as a very, very good beer that I'm very proud to have our name on. Like,
Yeah.
it's a great beer.
It
And
is really good.
Credit the Copper
It's
Kettle
really good.
crew for helping us get all the way to the finish line, too. Like, Jeremy and his whole team have been awesome to work with. And Ryan, too, their brewer. I like the ability to continue innovating, continue iterating on the same process, and at the same time having confidence in your decisions.
Yeah.
Like, the worst beers I've had are from people that are insecure in their process and they're not capable of making a decision. They hesitate, they second guess themselves all the way through, and then the beer comes out and they're like, hey, like, I think this beer's pretty good, and that's like huge red flag for me. I'm just like, okay,
That's comedy.
this beer's
That is
gonna be
comedy.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's
But if you're gonna
Exactly.
deliver a joke, you stand up and go for the punchline.
like you do
You
it.
hesitate, and you're like, I think I did pretty well. And everybody's like,
Well, it's also like if you have a new bit and you do it sheepishly because you know it's new and you
It's
don't know
gonna
how it's
bomb.
gonna go. Yeah, that's the part that makes it
Guaranteed.
bomb. It's not the words themselves because the joke itself might be very funny, but it's how you presented it because you didn't have the confidence in it to just like
It's
I'm gonna go for
fine
it,
to
yeah.
make it funnier, but you can't start with, I am not quite confident in this joke, so if this joke sucks, please don't
People
laugh.
do it all the time.
Because nobody's going to laugh.
People do it all the time.
You guys like run into like new comics that are like, my shit is the hottest
Yes.
shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah. Is that
Yes.
kind of a thing? Yeah.
Oh,
That's kind of
But-
what I was getting at.
Whether
That's why I
they're
brought
good
it
or
up.
not,
It's like,
does their confidence help them be funny that night?
No.
so, I mean, that night.
But if
that
they,
night,
no, I'm not
sometimes.
talking about the quality of their joke. If they delivered their joke without confidence, would it be worse?
I would say it helps.
I think the confidence helps.
It helps. I mean,
Sometimes.
yeah, it gives you a stage presence, but I mean, comedy is it's very finite in the way that it's like, it's either funny or it's not.
Sure.
So if nobody laughs and you told it confidently, I still like nobody
I've
laughs.
heard-
But, then,
I
but,
heard-
okay, but,
yeah,
but this is
I've
my
heard the
point.
same
Is
joke told
if you
confidently
tell
and
it
not
confidently and nobody laughs, it's not funny. If you tell it like without confidence and nobody laughs, it's both not funny and awkward.
Yes. Yeah.
Which
no,
is
I-
worse.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's not that telling it with confidence and it not working is worse by any means, but comedy is one of those ultimate truth tellers in the sense that like laughter is such a guttural reaction that you can't fake it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like
I would
people,
say that taste is the same.
no,
For the most
well,
part.
but the difference would only be that breweries become successful and can be successful even if the quality of the content is never good, ever.
Sure. Yeah.
As opposed to a
Comics can
comic,
too.
if they go from 0 minutes to like, so I'm talking about somebody with 0 minutes, and they start doing comedy. You think they can be successful?
Yes.
So somebody that gets 0 laughs
Yes.
for a 50-minute set.
Nobody's doing 50 minutes at first.
But that's my point. So like a
It's
brewery.
It's one beer at a time.
But a brewery can be very successful without having any good beers ever.
So can comics without jokes.
Okay,
They
but
But
just-
that's
it's
that,
like
but
a
with
build.
so somebody would be able to make a career
No.
without telling any jokes that are
But
funny
let's
for
talk
60
about the brewing
minutes.
industry for a second. That's not true anymore. You can't make bad beer and succeed anymore. It's no longer an option.
I find in a lot of these like small tourist towns, dude, that like there's just so many people coming into town. They just Google craft
we're
beer.
in a-
brewery.
we're
I don't know.
in a
We used
small
to
tourist
talk
town.
about that where it's like when you like name your brewery after like the town you're in, it's like almost like a curse. Because
Yeah.
like people will be like, yeah, I'll just go there. I'm in whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I was just in.
Ketchikan, and
I was.
I've been to a lot of bad breweries that are just named after the
Yeah.
town that they live in. I'm not saying that it's like universal,
No,
but
I feel
like
you.
it really is like that phenomenon where
I was
like,
just
well,
in-
I'm in this place and I'm celebrating my vacation. And I'm gonna go to this brewery and I had a great time. And
I was-
It is the same. Like,
I hate to
thing.
say it, but
Yeah.
I was just in Fruta doing some like camping and mountain biking. I think there's 1 or 2 breweries there. I don't even remember which one I went to, and it was fucking garbage. Like it was trash, but the place is packed because it's in a small tourist town. So that's my comparison. So they're making a career out of making bad product, as
Sure.
opposed to somebody that in our business, in order to make a career, you have to be able to fill an
Not in
hour
those
at
small
least.
towns.
I agree,
Yeah,
but
you have to be able to. You still have to fill an
You have to
hour.
fill an hour, but it can be garbage, and people will be like,
But I'm talking 0
this
laughs.
is- sure, they still do that.
Nobody's making a career off of an
Oh.
hour with 0
There are
laughs.
But
comedians.
like
yes,
zero,
they
it's
are.
like
Yes,
there's like
they
zero
are. No, I'm just-
real laughs, like versus like
I
you
get-
hear
I-
the
people are-
punchline and people are like,
I think I get what you're saying,
People
where
are
it's like
also
hacky
oblivious
and we
to,
don't like
like-
the material.
But this is
personally,
what
but-
this is what they invented laugh tracks for.
Yeah.
By the way, this is when you insert the laugh track on the podcast.
Hold on.
Post
Do you
production.
have the
I
laugh
have,
track
I
ready
have
to
an
go?
app for it somewhere.
Hold on, we're gonna try again.
I don't have
Hold
to
on.
download it.
You don't have it downloaded?
Yeah, that's a better one.
That was better. It's still a weird noise. I'm gonna get you an actual horn.
We have a horn. Our fucking bullhorn broke downstairs, and now we had some like weird shit in the.
Some weird shit.
But now we'll have a horn.
We had
that
a
go,
significant amount of weird shit when we bought
That's
this
what we
place.
need.
When we bought this place, it was the last 30 years of restaurants all piled on top of each other. We accumulated much weird shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, say that one
Okay,
more time.
well, I don't remember the joke though.
Just say whatever.
Whatever. This is great. You're listening to a comedy podcast where we got 0 laughs all day. Now, by the way, though, we have actual laughs.
I mean, are we even getting laughs though? Like we're on a podcast and we're all just bullshitting. Like,
Yeah, it's
we don't
kinda-
even-
No, we're
we
getting
don't really
laughs.
even know if anyone's like laughing at this.
Sam,
Even-
there
even
are
if they,
several
like,
hundred
listen to it.
thousand people listening and laughing.
According to this YouTube
But like, right?
video,
Like I don't know. Like
You're going with that? You're going with that
you
number?
guys.
according to the YouTube video, it's
guys could
100
be the
high
comics that are
quality
making
laugh
this.
tracks.
And,
High
like,
quality
you
laugh
don't, you don't
tracks.
ever
That's
hear
great,
anyone
yeah.
laughing. Like you don't know for sure, right?
Well, that's. I mean,
Like,
it's,
is that a weird thing? Like you guys,
Nah, I
could,
mean-
it could be 0 laughs, but like you guys are up here
There are
drinking beer with us.
there are
like,
times where people don't laugh the whole
not
time.
to challenge that hard, but like it's like
They'll come up and they'll be real nice and be like, "I enjoyed myself," and it's like you didn't look like it, but
Well, even
you
on the
seem like you did.
on a podcast forum, it's like we're just trying to have fun with the people in the room.
yeah.
So, like I said to you before the show, like we're just gonna make jokes, like, and some of them are gonna flop, and then some of them are gonna fucking kill. But that's just like, but the
Kill
whole
like
point is,
a bear.
We're
the
still
whole
waiting on
point
that
is-
pun, Eric.
yeah, waiting for it. Waiting for it.
I'm looking for I've been looking for a pun this whole time, and it's hard to find.
But ultimately, what we want to accomplish is just having a fun conversation with the people that we're with, and just like any conversation, sometimes you make a joke and it flops, and you make another joke, and everybody's having a great time, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's the whole point.
Sometimes
Like,
you can tell the joke the same way, and one crowd loves it, and the other hates it, just like beer, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We actually did. So we had a friend, comic friend, who was in a pretty bad car accident. So we put some tickets up and some free beer, and well, we offered a couple 6-packs for this donate. Like it was, you bid on it, you know, highest bidder gets it, and the highest bidder, I asked them what their favorite beer was. They said Amber Ales.
Oh God, that's my fucking demise. I fucking hate them. It's my adversary is Amber's.
I feel like I don't know. I'm at like a new point though, where I'm like, it was like so passe, but now it's like hipsters will eventually like come
It'll
back
come
to like
around.
Amber Ales.
Yeah,
and they're like,
yeah.
this is cool, man. Like,
never gonna
it's-
come back
I
to
think
Amber's.
I didn't think so.
I'm
I
never
do.
gonna come back to Amber's.
Really? You don't
it's
think
so
so?
It's so boring.
Hey,
it's
never
like the
say
most.
never.
It's the most boring beer style.
Is
on
it
the planet.
really, though?
Yeah, it is.
I think I have that with like blonde ales, where like you're like, oh, we made a blonde ale.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I mean both
Oh, I
of them
Brew
are
a
pretty.
fucking
Man,
lager.
I-
Well,
Both
I
are
made
pretty
a blonde ale
blasé.
too, so I'm just.
I've had
What a
some, like-
hypocrite!
I know.
I've had some like wild adjunct blonde ales lately that I loved. I absolutely loved them. River North did a cranberry orange blood.
Okay.
Or cranberry blood orange.
Blood, mostly blood.
It was a blood orange and blood.
Dude.
And blood. A blood blonde ale.
Yeah, but I mean, just kind of going back to that, some things work with one crowd and they don't with another. I mean, I've been working. You're always trying to work on new material, as I'm sure you are as a brewer. You're always trying to
Yeah.
figure out like some new beers, and you'll have
Or punch up old ones.
a joke that's doing pretty well, so it's got some optimism to it. There's some legs, and then you do it in front of another crowd, and it just fucking tanks hard. And you're like, I don't know, I don't understand why. You know, like all of a sudden this thing was doing very well. I like where it's going, and then you tell it in front of one group, and they fucking hate it. Essentially, it's a very strange kind of phenomenon.
Is there a point like as comedians that you like almost like you have a harder time believing in your joke, as weird as that sounds, but like
Yeah.
you've like told it enough, like it's almost like
You're over
becomes routine.
Yeah.
And then like you're just like, well, I don't like I knew this is funny, but like I'm not in that space anymore.
Well,
Because
no,
like
you
that's
get
always
sick-
been
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Like,
You get sick of your own.
absolutely.
You get sick of your own
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you probably do that as a brewer too, or like
Yeah, I
something
mean,
you came up with, like a recipe you came up with forever ago, and you're like, you don't love it anymore.
Yeah.
You clearly don't love hazies, but I'm sure you've brewed hazies. You know
Yeah,
what
sure.
I mean? Where it's
Yeah.
like, I'll do this because the people like it, but it's not my favorite by any means.
Actually, this seems like a pretty good place to kind of tie a knot on this, because we both of us have shows tonight, and we got to drive back.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 But man, this has been such a fucking good conversation. I really appreciate you guys like hanging out. And
No,
we're-
thanks for coming out. It's awesome connection with you.
And we're
guys.
stoked to be here. Like,
Yeah.
we're very excited for the things you guys have coming down the pipeline, and it's a beautiful space.
Yeah, keep an eye out for us bringing some of our dumb comedy friends up here.
No, I mean
sometime.
honestly, like we
Yeah.
talked about like MainStage, and everyone's like, "Oh, live music," and we're like, honestly, like a stage can be a lot of different things,
Yeah.
and like comedy was something we were also like, yeah, we should do comedy up here. Like, why not? Like, we want to like
Yeah.
have that. So like, we'll definitely be in touch, and like, we'd love to have you guys up
Yeah.
again. So
And we've got the leaderboard trademark.
Yeah.
That
The
we've got-
leaderboard.
No, I think we already
September
have.
coming
But that needs to be part of the
Mark your fucking
sign.
calendars,
That needs to be
boys.
part of the sign, is it says the leaderboard trademark. Like,
Yeah,
it can't
yeah.
be.
the big
Yeah,
TM
the
on it.
giant TM. You're looking at like leaderboard TM. What the fuck does that mean?
yeah.
Just for fun.
Leaderboard TM.
It's just funny for us.
But yeah, thanks for coming up, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is,
thanks
there
Any
for
any,
having
record that
us.
is trademark MainStage Brewing Company.
is there any stuff you guys want to plug before we get out of here? Like any new beers, or I'm sorry, any when you have more stuff online or any events?
I mean, honestly,
anything?
like we're just trying to have people like pop up here. It's not that far away from Boulder, Longmont,
really
Denver,
not.
and like
Estes.
Lions is a fucking awesome spot. There's
It is,
a lot
yeah.
of cool outdoor stuff. There's tubing. Like, it's a great community. So it's like,
Careful of the bears.
yeah, careful of the bears, but
Bears
like,
are a real thing.
there's I don't know. There's plenty of people like, I haven't been to Lions in a while. It's like, well, you should come up. It's a good time. We got a great space. We got awesome fucking pizza, and
If,
like,
if you want to
like
come
it's
up
a
here,
good time to come
Yeah,
to Lions.
no, we
Like,
haven't talked about this. So things to plug. We're MainStage Brewing Company. We're also very proud to host Kinfolk Pizza Chicken
Oh yeah.
here in our space. They took over our kitchen. They're run by Henry Myers, who some of you may know. He was the head brewer at Left Hand for 11 years.
Okay, cool.
Marvelous palate. The dude can taste shit. I mean, we bring him beer every now and then. He's running our kitchen. We bring him beer. We're like, dude, what are you tasting this? And he's like, oh, this is what's going on. It's very helpful. But best New York style pizza this side of New York.
No.
I'm not kidding. No, we're gonna get you a
Fucking
slice in a
no.
minute. I'm not.
Boys
I'm
messing
from
around.
New York.
Pizza?
I'm from New
Oh,
York.
I'm not
shit.
messing around. We're gonna go in there and get a slice of pizza.
And I just was
swear
in New
it's gonna
York
knock
and
you
had
down.
some New York pizza recently.
I
was like, oh,
swear
it's so
to
much
you,
better
it's
than
going to
anything in
knock you
Colorado.
down. I went out to New York for a wedding just before COVID, and me and my family went to 7 pizza places in 3 days because we were on the hunt for the best slice in New York, and our cab fares were ridiculous because we were on the hunt.
yeah.
And Henry's Pizza stacks up. I mean, we're talking Rosalie's, we're talking Antonio's up in Estes, we're talking
Yeah.
very, very, very serious pizza. So if you're looking for a really, really good slice, come on down. And I know I'm hyping this, but I 100% believe we can back it up. It's
believe
worth
it.
coming down for.
Hell yeah. Love that. Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much.
Thanks, guys.
This has been super fun.
And hopefully I crack the top 10 at some other
Next
point.
time.
Yeah,
Next time,
leaderboard.
September.
Never
You,
gonna
I mean, you
leaderboard.
did. Technically, you
We're
did.
already
this
we're
episode.
booking it right now.
Yeah,
Leaderboard,
it's happening.
boys.
Go Avs. Go Chuckle Puckers.
Trademark MainStage Brewing Company.